Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Hello, everybody. My name is Pixel, and welcome to Ages of Ainor. Welcome to the very fantabulous 7th episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So we're going to get into the game here in just a few minutes, but before we do, as usual, we are going to go over our usual housekeeping things. So, finally, as usual, before we get started, the last thing I'd like to do is cast. I'm going to go around one last time here, and if you would introduce yourselves and your characters before we jump in, we are going to start with Oz.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacob. I play Ozymandias Buckshank, the bard of the party. I don't have anything to plug. I hope you guys have a wonderful time watching. Thanks for coming.
Excellent. And Redbeard.
Greetings, Internet. My name is Redbeard the Pink. I am the Wizard of the East. I am on various social media platforms, the foremost of which are probably TikTok and Facebook. I am playing the party rogue, Redbeard the Gray, and having a great time so far. So stick around, everyone. It's bound to be a good one.
All right, and Mel.
Hi, my name is Trish, and I'm playing Mel, who's a middle-aged female human sorcerer. And I'm looking forward to sharing some more about myself tonight.
Okay. And Bill.
Hey y'all, I'm Beast. I play Bill, the sharply dressed barbarian mobster. So I'm excited to see what happens. We were on a bit of a cliffhanger, and if you haven't caught the end of last week's episode, you definitely should.
Excellent. And Arlo.
Hey guys, I'm Arlo. Another nickname is Skull. I do play the Dark Elf Warlock. I do have a Facebook. You guys can watch me there. College has been kicking my ass, so I haven't been streaming enough lately. But that's about it.
Fair enough. Well, that'll happen. And Beatrice. Oh, Beatrice, I've got you. You're muted there.
Hi. Sorry. Hi, I'm Beatrice. I'm Haley Comet, but I play Beatrice in this session. I am basically the only straight-laced character here. I have a TikTok, first and foremost, and super enjoying playing this session with everybody and seeing all the shenanigans going on. Hope you guys do.
Excellent. And I am Pixel of Hammer and Pixel. You can find me over on Facebook and facebook.com/Hammer and Pixel. And I stream video games and talk about, analyze them as literature, basically, while I play them for the most part. And I'm very excited to be here with Ages of Ainor today, doing our doing our Twitch D&D thing. So, without further ado, let's get into it. When last we left our heroes, they were working through the weeks following the rescue of Floon Blagmar and the acquisition of the derelict Trollskull Manor. Beatrice and Bill had joined Force Grey and the Zentarum, respectively. The boys, Oz, Arlo, and Bill, were planning a heist. Mel was shopping and working at the Yawning Portal, and Redbeard the Grey and Beatrice were figuring out what to do with the information Redbeard had uncovered about Beatrice's beekeeping mentor, Beppis Honeymaker. The boys carried out their heist successfully, though they had to pay Yagra Stonefist and her small band of Zentarum thugs a higher cut than they might have wanted, and Oz came away with some very bruised ribs, courtesy of Bill's quite convincing gut gut punch. But nevertheless, they secured a tidy little nest egg. Bonnie asked Mel to cover some shifts for her waitressing at the yawning portal instead of bussing tables, but Durnan did not think that Mel was ready to Bonnie's chagrin. Arlo sought contact with his patron, an enigmatic fox lady of a seemingly mischievous nature, and the answers he received were somewhat inscrutable. Bill was approached by Redbeard regarding his participation in the boys' shenanigans, with his usual warning not to step so far out of line that forced Gray had to take a hand in it. However, Bill revealed a shocking change of personality, asked Redbeard to keep an eye on him, but that he needed to be doing what he's doing, and gave him an indecipherable coded message for Vajra Safar, the Blackstaff of Waterdeep and director of Force Grey. Redbeard visited the Blackstaff, delivered the message, and learned that Bill may have some as-yet unspecified connection to the Blackstaff. And then we ended the session on kind of a massive cliffhanger, which is right where we left off. So, you are all hanging out at the Yawning Portal at the end of week 4 of our downtime. The bar is as boisterous as ever. An absolute mishmash of colorful adventurers drinking, fighting, flirting, fighting, flirting, drinking more, singing, dancing, plotting, scheming, everything you can possibly imagine. Oz, Arlo, Bill, and Beatrice sit at one of their regular tables, just getting the night started, when Bonnie comes up to the table and says,
Well, hey, y'all. Looks like you're having a party tonight. What can I get you?
And right after she speaks, Oz, you see a familiar face across the crowded tap room. Could it be? You see Ozymandias Buckshank walk into the bar, head a swivel, eyes searching the patrons. What do you do?
Okay, no one panic, all right? No one, don't turn around. I'm about to do something very strange, and I need you all to trust me. I will explain everything soon. And Oz looks around to see if anyone is looking at him that isn't at the table.
Okay. Sure, make a perception check.
I look at Bill. Oh.
Perception check coming right up.
13. Yeah, you don't see anybody. Everyone seems distracted with their own business.
Cool. Oz takes his hands and starts to run them up his face, kind of concealing himself, almost like he's just massaging his face. And as he does, he brings him up over his jaw and his mouth, and you see his stubble that he's kind of constantly had is gone, and his jawline has softened out and is a little bit different. His nose takes a new form. His eyes, when he peels them up, are a dark green instead of their typical light blue, and slightly farther apart. The bone structure of his face is changing, and he runs his hand through his hair, and it spikes out instead of this perfect curly untouchable hair that he's had for the months that he's been known to this party. It just turns into these short spikes, and he's like, his skin's a little bit darker, more of an olive tone. His hair takes on a reddish hue, and he looks up at the party and is, all right, here's the fucking thing. Turn around. And he points to, he kind of faintly gestures towards the Oz who just walked in.
Redbeard will use the bat to look instead of actually like swiveling his head around.
Okay. Yeah, you guys see Ozymandias Buckshank walking.
So he looks like the Oz we know.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
exactly?
So he looks identical to the Oz that you've been adventuring with for quite some time.
Bonnie is going to slip away from the table.
Bill rages.
No, calm down, stay calm. Don't freak out. Do not freak out.
Arlo's just looking at the beer that Arlo's looking at the owl that we're drinking. Like, is it the beer? Am I drunk?
Oz casts Charm Person on Bill to keep him from freaking out.
Okay. Sure. Make a, I believe it's a wisdom saving throw, Bill. That is an 8. So, Bill, you're remembering all of a sudden that Oz is like your best friend in the whole world. And, you know, if he was concealing something from you, if he was concealing something from you, he probably had a good reason for that. You shouldn't get so
sure
mad
he had
about
a
it.
great reason.
And you, listen to me, buddy. I know things are confusing right now. I will explain everything very soon.
I trust you, buddy.
I trust you too, pal. You're my best friend in the whole world. I trust you with my life.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah. Bray, can I borrow your room for just a few minutes? You have a room here at the portal, right?
I mean, not tonight. I don't know. I wasn't planning on it. Do you need me to get you?
I need to get him in private right now.
Bill. You need to get Bill in private right now.
No, not Bill. Oz. The Oz at the bar.
The Oz at the bar.
Yeah, and by this point,
can I ask you a serious
Oz
question?
By this point, Oz has
Ask.
the Oz who walked in the door has walked across the room and is leaning up against the bar talking to Dernan and seems to be ordering a drink.
Okay.
Yeah, ask
I will
away.
gladly go get you a room. I have one serious question.
Ask away.
Which one of you is the real Ozymandias Buckshank?
Him.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Let me make something clear.
Bucks off towards the bar.
None of you have met him. None of you know him.
But that's my best friend.
No, I'm your best friend. All right, but you don't know him. You know you know me, but I was wearing him.
Does he know you?
Yes,
Do I know me?
that's the thing to ask your therapist. I think.
Is he going to be upset if you approach him?
No, we have an arrangement.
Redbeard is approaching him.
I need him in private.
Because if he is, you could have one of us go and
Just tell him his business partner needs to meet him in the alley out back.
Gotcha.
Okay, so who is doing what? Did Redbeard already get up from the table before all this conversation?
Redbeard has
happened?
already gotten up from the.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't hear the tail end of the part about what he wants us to actually say. He just went to walk over towards the bar, and basically his plan is to like sidle up next to this dude, pay for and ask for the keys to a room, and then just try to like strike up a conversation, be like, well, you look like a performer of some sort. Are you here to play some music? Just,
Okay,
feeling the
yeah.
waters out, doing some mischief.
Okay.
Low-key mischief.
Yeah, so you come up to Dernan, and Dernan says, oh, hey, Redbeard, what do you want? What can I do you for?
Well, I think I might sleep here tonight if it's all right, Dernan. I'd like a room.
Fair enough. We got room? Sure.
All right.
And he charges you the normal amount for the room, which I don't have on my hand at the moment, and don't
We
think
can
it's all
sort it
of
out. It's fine.
and,
So
yeah.
I'll pay him whatever it is.
And Oz sort of like taps on the bar and says, pardon me, but could I get a drink? And Dernan says, oh yeah, sure, sorry. He's one of my regulars. I don't mean to
Oh, I didn't
Ignore
mean,
you,
sir. I am so sorry. I did not mean to cut you off. By all means, please order your drink. What are you having, if I can say? I'd love to buy your drink since I kind of interrupted you there.
I'll take some of your finest wine.
Sounds
Oh,
like
it's a
him.
wine drinker. I see.
And so there's some coins change hand, and Dernan hands him a glass of wine, and he sort of like turns around and puts his puts his elbows on the bar like backwards, grabs the drink, sort of takes a swig, and just seems to be kind of holding the drink, looking around the bar, kind of squinting from time to time. And this place is crazy, right? So he's looking all around. What do you say?
Well, I'm gonna order myself an ale, I guess, just so I also have something to be drinking while this is going on, and I'll take a seat at the bar, not like right next to, but like maybe a seat or two away from this character, and I'll just let's see, what do I want to say to this guy? Yeah, I'll just kind of look over at him and be like, so I couldn't help but notice it. Okay, question: is he openly carrying any sort of like instrument?
Yeah.
Or other like artifact of his trade that lets me know, be like, that's a fine instrument you got there. Are you planning on playing some music here tonight?
Normally that is my want, but today I'm here to find myself.
Here to find yourself.
Yes.
Interesting.
The most noble endeavor to which a man can put himself, I think, and he sort of takes
It is
another swig.
and I gotta be honest, this is a great place to find yourself. So are you planning on heading down that pit later on then?
Down the pit.
I've heard
of
some
course.
folks go looking for themselves down there.
No, that is quite a curious thing there, but no, the self of which I search is not to be found down the pit, I think.
Oh, I see. Not much of a dungeon crawler then, I guess.
I've robbed a tomb or two in my time, but such is not my purpose in traveling here today.
I see. Well, listen, my name is Redbeard, and you are?
Ozymandias Buckshank.
Ozymandias Buckshank. God, I think I might have heard of you. You're a rather famous bard, aren't you?
Well, one would hope. I've performed here, I believe, several times before.
Yeah, okay. That's probably where I know you from. I'm a regular here.
Ah, of course. Sorry, I meet so many people, it can be hard to remember each one.
He'll sort of extend his mug out and be like, well, proud to have a drink with you there, sir. And
Yep.
sort of
Clinks it.
to finding oneself.
Indeed.
And then he'll just kind of quietly enjoy his drink and just sort of hold that position at the bar.
Just low down, if this guy comes and talks to you, he is the most arrogant prick I have ever met in my entire life.
Bonnie. Bonnie, can I get a round of the best wine for my best friend?
Bonnie's not there. She trades. So you go to look up and ask Bonnie for another drink. She has disappeared.
The service in here.
Right?
What, Beatrice, do you have any honey? I want to buy your best honey.
I always have honey.
Can I buy the best stuff you got for my best friend?
Well, they're all about the same price. So what kind of flavor profile are you looking for?
I don't care. Here's a sack of gold.
How much is a sack of gold?
I think it's probably got about 25 gold in it.
Fuck it.
Well, you don't need to hand out all this money if you don't want to. I know you're feeling friendly, but yeah, you're feeling real friendly. All right.
If anyone's worth it, you are, buddy.
Hey,
Beatrice will hand out 25 gold worth of honey in like different flavors and stuff. Chill.
How much honey? That's
Gotta be a lot of honey. That's like
It's got to be at least
God,
5
so
jars.
that's like okay. So
I would say like 5 to 7 jars.
so that
probably.
you guys have a bit of a frame of reference, it can be hard to convert like gold to dollars. One gold piece is like $100, basically. Okay, so he just
Wait.
bought $2,500 worth of honey. That's like a
determine that,
pallet of honey.
like a jar of this stuff is like
Right, but I think these jars are a couple gold apiece. We said, right?
Yeah,
Because honey's
listen,
a bit of a luxury.
I'm not going to be held accountable to everything that I said before I did the math on how much a gold piece is.
Okay, that's fair.
Moving forward, a gold is about 100. So
Well, that's why everyone gets so excited when I throw gold pieces around like it's no big
yeah,
deal. I had noticed that. I was like, I've just got this gold. I'm going to offer him some of that. And I throw like 5 pieces down there like, this will feed my family for a year. And I'm like,
yeah. So yeah, I mean
dang.
a gold piece is like a week's wages for someone who makes like $60,000 a year or something. Like the economy of D&D doesn't exactly translate, but the closest math that I felt comfortable with in round numbers was having it be about 100 gold. So yeah, it's throwing gold around. It's quite expensive stuff, right? So
Yeah, like a sack with 25 gold coins landing on the table would probably draw the attention of everyone in the bar.
well,
or at
you're in a
least
bar full of
nearby.
adventurers, right? So they are the kind of people who would throw sacks of 25 gold around. If
Beatrice,
you were
like,
in like a
There's
doctor,
probably a lot of
Exactly.
sacks of gold hitting tables around
there's a lot
here.
of sacks of gold
Probably
for
a
a lot
familiar
of
noise.
reasons hitting tables.
yeah.
Not the only kind of if my intro is a description is anything to go by. Not the only sack of any kind hitting anything in this bar either. But all right, so Oz.
yeah. So Oz takes a look around the table to kind of gauge everyone's reaction to this assumedly huge news. Just from Bill, he assumes is just kind of chilling because of the charm person, but he takes a look at Beatrice and Arlo.
I assume you have your reasons. I guess it's really none of my business. Are you planning to murder this guy, or is he...
No, probably not. Odds are like 99%
Probably
not going to kill this guy.
Almost certain.
I mean, like, I guess I probably wouldn't say anything even if you were. But when take care of you, and I guess just let us know how that goes. And if you need any backup, we got you. We got your
Yeah.
back.
Good
I
God,
will
Paige
ex-
just wants to kill a man.
I will explain everything as soon as I'm done. If y'all
I'd kill
want to
him.
come to the
I'd kill him
room,
right now if you wanted him dead.
no, that's fine.
Okay.
Right? You woke up and chose violence today.
I woke up and chose violence when those in-laws tried to get me captured.
They're not even your in-laws.
Still,
And then Oz looks over at Arlo real quick just to kind of gauge
He's
how
just
he's
looking at the.
processing.
He's just looking at the L, thinking like, "Did I drink too much?" And I'm looking at him. Oh wow! Bottoms up.
I'll explain everything in a little bit, buddy. And
And I'm not gonna freak out over here.
let off
I-
your shines, though. You need any backup or anything? Like in case you shout too loud or something?
yeah, I'm gonna get him in private. We'll just say this: if y'all hear a loud bang, come to the room. Or I mean, if y'all would feel comfortable, I mean, I wouldn't mind having the backup. But
I'll be right there with you, buddy.
all right, just I'm gonna talk to him. We're gonna go to a room. You all,
Near the room because it's pretty loud in here.
yeah. All right, cool. See you guys soon. Wish me luck. And Oz takes off his jacket. He is now a little bit bulkier. He's filled out these clothes under this jacket and struts over to the bar and takes a seat between Redbeard and Oz.
Yeah, okay. So let me ask a question. To the Ozymandias Buckshank sitting at the bar, is this face new? Or has he seen this face before?
This face is totally new.
Face is
Oz
totally
picked
new.
out a random stranger at some
Yeah.
point over the past year.
Okay, yeah, so he's still sitting there. He sort of looks at you, looks you up and down, takes a swig, keeps looking around the room.
You got the look of a man who's waiting for somebody.
Yes, I'm here to find myself.
Yeah, aren't we all? And Oz sticks a hand out, kind of palm up towards Red for the key.
I'll hand it over
He goes, you know,
as surreptitiously as possible, I guess.
Okay, sure. Yeah, make a sleight of hand check.
Sure. I might need you to help me click, hon.
Yep.
and I'm also proficient in sleight of hand. Can I give the help action?
Yeah, sure.
To,
Yeah. Take advantage on that.
Oh. And Gray and sleight of hand is somewhere in here.
There you go.
There.
hey, that's a 23.
Nice for the advantage. Okay, so 23.
Hey.
So using Oz's talents as well,
Yeah,
me,
so
you all
probably the
hand
way I'll
off.
do that is I'll slip the key into my hand and be like, "Oh, hey, William, good buddy. Been a while since I seen you in here," and I'll kind of like handshake him and give his cover a name in the same stroke and be like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing, William?"
Red, good to see you, pal. Good to see you. And he takes
And I'll
it.
hand the key over.
Yeah. And he leans over and is like, I hear there's a nice spot to think over stuff is in. And Oz takes a look at the key and he's just like, room 3. Think things over. And he gets up and he struts towards the rooms.
He sort of looks and kind of shrugs his head, cracks his neck, gets up, and walks over to follow you to the room.
Look like somebody who's
Bill gets up to follow at a respectable distance.
Okay. Yeah, so
I-
go ahead.
I would like to slip out of the building. And is room 3 on the first floor, second floor? Where is that on the?
Yeah, I think it's probably on the second floor
Okay.
back. And I think it's like over the kitchens is where the rooms typically are. So like the main part of the yawning portal, there's the hole in the floor and the main level of the tap room. And then there's like 2 balcony levels. And then I think behind the bar is like a kitchen and storage area. And I think there's some stairs that lead up to a second floor. That's how you get to the other balconies. But I think everything behind kind of the bar end of things, right, is where the rooms are. And then Durnan probably has like a penthouse in like the top floor or something, right?
I would like to be if I can do it. I think without getting caught, I would like to be perched outside of the window of room 3 during this conversation. I just want to be a
Okay.
fly on the wall.
Yeah, sure. Go for a stealth check for me.
Oh, okay.
That is going to be a
Oh,
net. The first one is she accidentally clicked twice, but the
That's
first one was a
fine.
nat
Nice.
20.
Yeah, so silent and graceful as a cat, Red sort of parkours his way up this
Parkour!
building and launches him and sits himself on the lip of a tiny ledge outside of this window. Oh, also I should Toasty! There it is. Toasty. Okay. So Oz and Oz walk into this room, and I suppose you leave the door cracked or something, and he comes in behind you.
Yeah, Oz walks in, leaves the door cracked so that Oz Prime can get in. And once he's in, Oz shuts the door behind him, but he doesn't leave it locked, just in case.
And he's, all right. What the fuck took you so long?
Oh, Charlemagne, buddy. Listen, it's been a little crazy lately. Things took longer than expected.
Yeah, apparently you're 2 months late.
Right, well...
I thought you were dead.
Yeah, there's a bit of that going around, I suppose. But, I got tied up.
Yeah, didn't we all? All right, well... did you just get into the city?
It took me a little bit of time to track you down. I missed you at the docks the other night. I think we passed like ships in the night.
I was a little bit busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so, I've asked around for places I've been playing and have been hitting them until I came across this one, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, let me give you the rundown, all right? Like we said, every bar from Mirabar to here. I've been in them all. I've played them all.
Excellent. Good.
We've got some attention. There's some big wigs that are looking at you. One in particular, name's Lynette Tafala. She's pretty good. He lives out in the castle ward. But at the same time, you didn't exactly give me a lot of capital to properly fulfill the role. I don't have time. I didn't have the money for the nice wines. I didn't have good money for transport. I didn't have good money for lodging. All right. So there's some people, Neverwinter in particular, who you owe some money to. And there's also some people who probably would hurt you if they got the chance. Waterdeep, most of these problems have been settled. I had to dip my toe into the adventuring pool a little bit to make ends meet. Because what kind of budget is 100 gold for a year-long tour of half the Sword Coast?
They assured me you were the most resourceful person I could have asked, so I thought you'd be able to make it work.
Of it. Yeah, I did make it work.
Well, good.
All right, good. Lynette Tafala is going to be your best bet of getting into a court.
Tafala, did you say?
Yeah.
I think I had a run-in with her twin sister, actually. 2 towns over.
Nice.
Couple of run-ins, actually.
Might have. Also, I would, if you do plan on staying in Waterdeep for a while, steer clear of. Well, no, don't steer. Expect a house call maybe at some point from Davil Starsong. He's a good guy. Good as he's an okay person. He's good people. You're friends.
I see. Well, on my way preparing for this, I've been doing a little research about, how things have gone for me here. And it seems that my reputation has taken a bit of a dive in certain quarters.
You have to make do, right? That's what we just said. You gotta...
Well, in the making of do, I was sort of hoping you might be a little more successful in keeping my name somewhat less associated with known criminals.
Yeah, he is a known criminal, but there are a few known criminals. Listen, the important thing is the job is done. You've got your attention. I want my pay.
Right. Well, as I said, I'm gonna have to do. I mean, I owe some people money now. I'm gonna have to do some damage control on that reputation, and I'm gonna have to take it out of the total amount that we agreed on.
That was not part of the deal.
Well, associating me with known criminals wasn't part of the deal either.
Is Bill outside? Can he hear any of this legibly?
Make a perception check. It's going to be relatively tough because you're outside in a noisy bar, right? Trying to listen into.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
30-20.
30-20. Okay, yeah, I think you can in fact hear this.
All right, Bill's gonna wait.
Okay. And he says, "It's not like I'm giving you nothing. It's a sizable sum. Just, I have to make deductions for all the shit I'm going to have to do."
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
So he pulls out a sack of gold. And what did we discuss before?
It was a year's worth of, I think, modest living conditions. So I think it totaled out to like 350.
I have living conditions pulled up. Lifestyle expenses, yeah. Okay. So it's about 25% of what you guys had agreed on. So it's about 300 we'll say 375 gold.
375.
So.
All right.
He says, "Listen, it's like I said, I've got a lot of work. There's a lot of damage control I'm going to have to do, but that's enough to live comfortably for a year."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, either way, I think this has been an eye opener of a job. Let me just put it that way. So.
Well, what? I thought it would be delightful being me. Everyone loves me.
Oh yeah, sure thing. They sure do. Definitely.
Well, listen, I've got to go get to all that damage control I alluded to, so I suppose if I see you again, I won't know it, huh? And he pats you on the back and heads for the door.
That's the plan. All right. And once the door opens, Oz waits like 30, 40 seconds, and then pokes his head out to look for the others.
Yeah, so
Bill.
you find Bill posted up right by the door, I assume.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
You want me to hurt him while he's still in there?
No, that would just make things way worse.
He got any more money on him?
Probably.
You sure?
He's dead. I mean, he's not a poor man, I don't think.
And you don't want me to hurt him?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, if you say so.
Gray slips in through the window.
Sure thing. And Oz,
Very quiet.
Oz lets go of charm person.
Okay.
If he can. I don't know if that's something I can dismiss or if that's just gonna.
It's not concentration.
I mean, the duration is probably over with by now, I would think.
The duration is an hour.
Yeah, the direction is an hour.
Let's see.
But yeah, you can dismiss a spell as a free action. There's no cost to that or anything. You could just let it go.
I just don't know if it's like a condition that that just has to be weighted out. Is just because I think it just gives them the condition of charmed.
Yeah. Even though it's not concentration, I'll say that you can dismiss it.
Oz dismisses it. Stay calm. Stay calm, buddy.
It also says, or until you or your companions do anything harmful to us. So you can always slap Bill in the face if you're feeling frisky.
Yeah. Bill looks over with the intention to rob, and Oz slaps him across the face. Buddy. Everything's good. Everything's golden. I will explain everything. Just come into the room. Jesus. Great.
Oh, hey there, Oz. I was just trying to stay close by and make sure everybody was safe, Why don't you get everybody in here? Let's have a little chat.
Yeah. Bill, grab everybody.
We're all either by the stairs or by the door. Should we have made deception checks to make it seem like we weren't listening in?
Yeah, sure. We'll say make stealth checks for everybody, and this is not going to be your ability to stay out of height, but more your ability to evade notice by acting as if you are not worth noticing.
Can somebody see if Mel's around? Is she working tonight? I think she should know about this as well. This is kind of a big thing.
I haven't seen Mel.
Yeah, none of you have seen Mel in a couple of days. She did
Bonnie
say that
might
she
know.
was picking up some extra shifts at the portal, but you have not seen her tonight.
I'll go ask at the bar. Maybe Durnan has seen her.
Bonnie might know. I know they're pretty tight.
Yeah, as you so it look no one seems that they've been noticed by the Oz Prime. And as you approach the bar, you see Durnan kind of looking around the room in somewhat of consternation, and he goes, Bonnie! Bonnie, we got guests, what are you doing? Gotta get out there! Oh, hey Bill, what can I do for you?
Oh, hey, Durnan, have you seen Mel? She told me she was supposed to be working today, and, well, gosh, I haven't seen her in a while.
Supposed to be working today? Nah, she's got a couple days off.
What are you talking about?
And she said she had a couple days off. I don't know.
What did you do with Mel, Durnan?
I didn't do nothing with Mel. Hey, you calm the fuck. Don't make me get. And he points at the sword behind the bar. It's this massive enchanted greatsword. You've seen him swing around a few times before.
Well, where's Bonnie? Maybe she knows.
Well,
Bonnie
that's what I'm
hustles
trying to
up.
find out. She's supposed to be out
Bonnie
there serving
hustles
drinks.
up out of the crowd with a full tray of like empty glasses and sets them on the bar and says, "Hey, Bill, I'll be with you just in a minute, hon. I heard you call my name."
What?
And she's setting glasses down and turning in orders to Durnan and pretty much doing what Bonnie does.
Well, look, Bonnie, we're trying to find Mel. I'm just worried sick about her. Do you know where she
honey,
is?
she's fine. She needed a little bit of time. That move into Trollskull Manor, well, it was kind of tough on her. I think she maybe went back to her little place in the hillside. You know about that. She'll be back soon. Don't worry about it at all. Excuse me now. I got to hustle. And Bonnie heads back off into the crowd with the drinks that Durnan has prepared.
She does she? No, Bonnie does.
All right, well, I better go tell the others.
So Bill runs back up to the room to communicate that Mel is indisposed and should be safe.
Okay, so you all find yourselves in room 3 of the yawning portal, sitting and standing in various places around the room in the wake of this revelations about Osmandius.
Hey, Oz, buddy,
Yeah.
you
Or
must
maybe
tell us
not
this story.
Oz. I don't think his name is Oz.
What? That's a good point. What is your actual name?
That's a point of contention to I never really got one.
Okay.
So I just kind of been going by whoever I am in the moment. Let me explain. I think this will make more sense. And Oz reverts to his base form. You see, it's almost like paint is being poured on him from the top. It just starts to kind of pour. His hair and his skin turns gray. This like slate, like marble gray almost. His eyes blink and are suddenly the irises are these like slit pupils, all gray all the way down, except obviously his clothes don't change. And he kind of takes just a standard athletic physique, and I'm a changeling.
Oh.
I would like to roll an Arcana check to see if I know anything about what that is.
Okay, sure.
Beatrice, you want to handle that for me? Thank you.
I gotta say, buddy, I'm regretting less and less pounding up them ribs of yours.
This was
Perfect. Gray. Changelings are devils, and they eat the souls of babies and assume their forms. And
he's
then they
telling
live
us
amongst
that
the
I'm
people.
sorry. I
as
realize
the-
I rolled in that one here, but this character, despite having amnesia, is also like a previous expert on Fey lore. So I'm just gonna call bullshit here. I'm not that dumb.
I don't know. You rolled a nat 1.
Do I have inspiration?
Doesn't look
If
like
I have inspiration, I don't think we record them on there reliably.
Listen, here's the
You know what? Fuck it. My brain's jostled.
Yeah. Okay. So no, you don't think you're not sure what
Okay.
I mean, you can make
Fair
some
enough.
inferences by what the name Changeling says, but
So are you a shapeshifter of some kind?
Yeah, I can take the form. watch this. And Oz takes the form of Redbeard the Grey.
Bill rages.
Okay, well, Bill, you have 6 seconds to attack someone or your rage is going to fade.
Bill punches the wall.
Bill.
You
It's
have to pay
okay.
for that if you mess it up.
You're going to take 1 bludgeoning damage from the wall.
Bill, you want to do the right thing, yeah, Bill. You want to be a good dude, Bill. Just
Oz goes back to Changeling. Everything is okay, big guy. Just calm down.
He looks like she has some thoughts, but they're not pure ones, so she's going to keep them to herself.
oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oz, or the Changeling, I guess. Just all right. So I, as a profession, work in a field all about helping people get away from their responsibilities. Have you ever been challenged to a duel or had a test that you didn't want to show up to, or maybe you had a wedding that you needed to find a way to dip yourself out of, or things like that?
No twins.
I take your spot. I deal with it. That's kind of just what I've always done for as long as I can remember at this point. This was a job a little bit different. We were both touring the Sword Coast. He was taking the south, I think everywhere from Greenest to Waterdeep, and I was everything from Mirabar to Waterdeep. So he got the entire south. I got the whole north. Took about a year. The whole point, he wanted to get into like a noble's court as their court bard. But he's a piece of shit, and he didn't give me any money to start it off with, or enough money at least. So I had to make do.
So does he want to get into a noble court to gain information?
No, he's just is looking for like a good gig to play music. Yeah, so I did that. The agreed upon payment was about 1,500 gold. But obviously things haven't gone so well for me as Oz. So there was some cuts to the payment. But I got a pretty decent payday, all in all. So, yeah, I think I'm done with that job because in the span of knowing you guys for 2 months, I've made about a year's worth of money. So I would like to stick with y'all. I know we've got some difficulties between the lot of us, but you guys have been good to me. I understand I've lied to you all, and I'm sorry.
I have some questions.
Ask away.
Is taking other people's identity something like for coin because they want you to? Is that like something you enjoy doing?
I mean, it's something I'm good at. I don't know if it's necessary. I mean, who enjoys their job when you get down to it, right?
I mean, I enjoy honey, but that's just me, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a negative experience. I didn't enjoy being Oz. Imagine being told that you have to drink a bottle of wine every day for a year.
Yeah, that would suck.
I wouldn't call it you drank wine.
Yeah, no, that it was supposed to be, but I couldn't afford it because he didn't give me enough money to maintain. So I ended up buying pretty much just vinegar. Fermented vinegar.
I've been drinking vinegar.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been terrible. I've woken up in a lot of bad places the last year.
Did you not have a lot of luck using his identity to make coin? I feel like that was probably part of his intention.
Yeah, well, so do you know how much money a bard tends to make off of tips, playing in bars? It's not enough to have a place to stay, a consistent source of food and drink, and also the money to travel halfway across the coastline.
I mean, you do have to sort of be able to rough it and get yourself around
I've been rough.
I mean, I've spent a lot of time in this city, but I'm not a stranger to travel.
All I'm saying is he's a good bit better of a bard than I am.
Okay.
I'm kind of new to the whole musician thing. So
a shapeshifter, but not necessarily an experienced performer in the sense that you can do what he does.
yeah, I'm good at lying when you get down to it. That's my number one skill.
Yeah, I noticed that you do seem to have a penchant for deception, even in cases where just going about things in a legitimate way would probably serve you better.
Yeah.
Like so I don't know too much about your race, species. I'm not sure what.
I mean, I am a separate species from you all.
Okay.
So
How old are you?
I'm 19.
19.
Huh.
You're a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know too much about changelings, did you say?
Yeah, changeling.
But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of unnecessary deception going on, almost as if it's just like a natural state of existence for you.
Base your entire life on lying and see where you get.
But what would you rather?
Well, I've seen
do?
where it's gotten you.
Yeah. What was that, Beatrice? Sorry.
What would you rather do?
Well, I mean, honestly, I've been having a pretty fun time the last 2 months, other than waking up in alleys and owing a lot of people money, which has been most of it. But the stuff with you guys has been fun, and it pays well. Fun's a strong word.
It was fun for me.
There's no shortage of excitement, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I think I might be hanging up the old disguise myself as someone else and be them for a year hat, and maybe pick up the adventurer hat. I don't know. If you all will take me.
I just want to know that you're going to be honest with us from now on. That's my main concern, at least as much as you can be. I mean, you know, I get into kind of a deceptive line of work sometimes myself. I can't always be completely upfront with everyone I know. So, I mean, I get the like necessary secrets thing, but like we gotta be talking to each other about stuff like this, at least to a degree, I would think.
I agree to an extent. I do still kind of. You work in a field, in a niche field that doesn't really work with the niche field that I've kind of gotten myself into.
No, but you know
on
what?
a broader field, we are same, but different.
You know what though? I think that you would do really well in my field, knowing what I know now. I had wondered already, but knowing what I know now, like you would be instrumental to Force Grey.
I appreciate that.
And that's good money.
I still don't know if I'm ready to like slap an organization onto my thing. I think I
You're
still
willing to
like
slap some dumbass's face on yours for what, over a year now?
Yeah, but
we don't have uniforms.
I'm still free.
Hold on. What if you slap on some dumbass's face and joined Force Grey, and if you didn't like it, pick another dumbass's face?
I could do that. I am still kind of opposed. No offense here, Gray. I'm a little bit opposed to Force Grey. You guys are kind of
Doo-doo heads.
the 5-0, the 12. That's not
Okay,
like
we're not guards.
you enforce the law, though.
No, they protect.
No, we really kind of don't. You might have been a little misled about Force Grey. Let me kind of break down what we actually do. We, by and large, deal with existential threats to the city and its population. So it's less about enforcing laws and more about preventing major catastrophes that could affect the population.
Like necromancy.
So things like a necromancer raising the dead and unleashing them on the town. Things like one or another crime organization getting two in charge and just like declaring open warfare on the guards. Like we are not a branch of any government organization. We are, I'm going to say, both more neutral and more important than that.
It's food for thought. Here, listen, if Force Gray's ever got some big open freelance job, I am more than happy to do it. I just don't really want to be part of any big name
Okay, that's legit.
organization. All right. If you've ever got a job that needs doing, I'm happy to do it. Same for any of my old associates. I'm a free agent now. I'm done with working for people in long terms, I guess.
That's fair.
Well, I say good for you.
That's right. I'm free.
And I consider myself a bit of a free agent as well. Force Gray is really just kind of a good way to make a consistent paycheck. But I want to say that my adventuring quite often is more profitable than being on the force anyway.
Well, there we go.
I'm just saying I'll keep you in mind. If I think your skills could come in handy, I might offer you a cut of whatever it is I happen to be doing, regardless of whether Force Gray is involved or not. How does that sound?
What?
Yeah, that's me. I don't know if anyone else can see that. There I am.
So,
Follow-up question. What do we call you?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, you all know me as Oz already. We can take the rest of it off of it, or we can find a whole new name.
We could have a naming party.
Yeah, a whole big naming party. Be somebody else.
Surely you have some kind of business name that you go by or something that people call you on average.
I'm just the changeling. There aren't a lot of us around. We're surprisingly rare.
Huh.
Though
When you come
maybe not as rare as we think. Out of character, I don't know. But yeah, no, we're
Well, when you come up with one, let us know, and then we'll throw a party. We'll maybe make it a grand opening for the bar we're opening up at Skull, at Troll Skull.
I mean, until then, I think Oz is a solid placeholder. I mean, it's what you all already know me as. It might cause some confusion with people who aren't part of our crew, but
well, I'm not going to learn another name, so you're just Oz.
all right. Well, I need to buy some new clothes because these things are disgusting.
I look at Oz and I cheer to that as I drink the rest of the owl that I have.
Also, Arlo, our discussion the other night, this is what it was about. I would like to stop.
That's great. I mean, now that I know that you're not that person, I mean, there's no reason for me to even tell you nothing.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, let's do it. I'm the same guy. I just want to make that abundantly clear.
No, I get that. I do get that you're the same guy, and I'm happy to even do things with you. And if we're gonna continue doing it, I just want to learn more about you.
Let's do it.
I got
Well,
no
you said-
problems as long as we're making money.
I said, you're gonna go and do a change of suits, or
Listen, they're talking about crimes.
Yeah, no, these rags are disgusting. I mean, look at this. And Oz kind
let
of
me.
holds up his coat, which is all ratty, and he's got holster. He's like, I just got paid. I'm buying new clothes.
Do you mind if I join you as well?
Come along.
I know
All
a
right.
great tailor.
All right. Well, everybody, I really wish Mel could have been here. I feel like this is heavy news. You all know where she might be? I might go catch her later.
No idea.
Durnan said that, well, not Durnan. He didn't know crap. Bonnie said that she was probably just in her special place, but I don't know. Maybe we should check back at Troll Skull.
Yeah, I'll see her at Troll Skull. Anyway, I'm not going out there like this. And Oz takes just a random guy's form that he's seen. So probably just some kind of like pudgy, just standard, boring looking dude. And he's like, all right, well, let's go buy some clothes.
And you all walk out the door back into the bar, and the place is bananas. The yawning portal is normally crazy, but it is off the chain in here. And you look and you see, standing on the edge of the portal itself, 1 foot up on the railing, is Osmandius Buckshank, and he's playing the most wildly complicated lute work you have ever seen. He is tearing it up and singing up a storm. Somebody like puts a bottle in front of his face, and he like takes a swig while he's ripping this crazy solo. Somebody else grabs like a lantern off of a nearby table and puts it in front of his face, and he just like spews the wine into the lantern over the portal. There's just this like flame. It is hands down the most batshit performance you've ever seen, and place is going freaking nuts.
Yeah, I can see how it would be hard to maintain that level of showmanship if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
He obviously knows what he's doing.
Yeah, because it's like, 1980s, like, just madness happening, complete furor and ecstasy in the place.
Redbeard, like, takes his bat and, like, hides him. He's going a little bit.
Okay, and yeah, so we are kind of at the end of that scene, and I think I actually would like to go ahead and take a quick break now before we get too much farther along. Anyway, okay, so we are going to pop back in to the game proper now. So, you guys have left the yawning portal following the outrageous performance of Ozymandias Buckshank. That, that's all very confusing, sure.
I was gonna say, and I was looking at I guess Oz, and be like, you want me to do a hex on him?
No, let him have this. I think we both had a long year.
Yeah, and so I think we're gonna cut. You guys don't see Mel for a couple more days, but I think a few days later, Oz. I'm assuming you don't take to. Buns, thanks for the bits. I'm assuming you don't sit around and wait around at the docks anymore. And I don't know if you're drinking as much or getting smashed every night at this point. I don't know. So I'm looking for like one night somewhere in the next 4 or 5 days, where Oz is just kind of like at Troll Skull in his room. Do you think there is such a night to be found?
I definitely do. So Oz, is no longer going to the docks, and honestly is not really going out to bars that much anymore. He, for the first time since I guess he's moved in with anyone, Oz spends the night for the most part in Troll Skull. He doesn't really leave that much. He's trying to not drink as much, but he's definitely getting like the shakes pretty consistently. So he's always kind of tipping himself off with, a drink or two a night to kind of keep the shakes off. But he's trying to quit.
Gotcha. Excellent. So one of these nights, and I think it maybe is one that you're not feeling super great. And so you're up and it's pretty late at night. I'm going to say it's like somewhere between 12:30 and 2:30 in the morning, maybe. So you've got a candle maybe lit in your room, or I don't know if you have the light spell, but there's a small light in your room, and your door creeps open.
Oz had, like, as soon as if he hears the creak, which I assume we haven't done renovations or anything, so these are messy doors. Oz just puts a hand on his rapier just in case.
Mel ducks her head through the door. Oz.
Oh. And I think at this point, Oz has kind of picked a different form. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he sticks to the normal one for at least a couple days just to kind of wean himself out. No, I think Oz is straight up just a different form. So this does not look like the Oz that Mel knows.
Okay, so what does it look like?
It is kind of a. I think Oz, when he's in the house, is kind of a larger, or Oz for the past couple of days is kind of a larger, bearded, dark-haired tan man
Yeah, that's really
Okay.
what I've got.
Yeah, so Mel, you crack open Oz's door to find sitting in his bed, wearing his rapier, and seemingly comfortable amongst the accoutrement of Oz, some other person who is larger and tan and has a giant bushy beard.
Mel slips in, and is there a chair in the room by any chance? Something else that a person could perch on?
I mean, yeah, I would think so.
Mel she makes eye contact with this person, and she slips over to the chair. She kind of tucks her. She's very thin. She tucks her legs up on the chair. So Mel's actually kind of sitting in the chair with her knees up almost under her chin and her arms around them. And she says, Oz.
Yeah, that's me.
I saw what happened at the awning portal.
Oh, wait, what? What do you mean you saw? I haven't been to the awning portal.
I saw what happened all those nights ago when the other Oz walked through the door. You were being him, weren't you?
Yeah, we were looking for you. Where were you?
Well, I was there. Oz, I was being Bonnie. She needed some time off. And I was so grateful that she has helped me as much as she had. And Durnan wasn't going to let her be off. And it isn't something I do a lot because it's scary. But I looked at Bonnie and I saw what she looked like. And I did a thing. Do you want me to show you?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mel gets up and she does a totally different thing. She like wraps her arms and everything really tight and makes a really thin profile. And then she starts to turn. She goes up on one toe and she turns. And she kind of turns around 2 or 3 times before she comes down off of her toe. And she blurred a little bit and changed a little bit and things moved around and you're looking at Bonnie. Well, hey, y'all, she says in a pretty good approximation of Bonnie's voice.
What do you know?
So I can do it too, Oz. What is it? Why can we do this? What are we?
We're changelings.
We're what?
Yeah, and Oz stands up and does his standard. He turns into his base gray form. His it's like I said, it's like paint being poured down his body, and it just kind of shifts its form. His beard retracts into his face, and his hair kind of shortens and spikes out, and he gets his gray skin. This is who we are underneath it all. I can't believe you're like me. I've never met someone else like me.
I'm gonna do the thing, Oz. And she spins again, and this time it's even faster. And when Mel is done, she is also a changeling. Thinner, younger, much younger. And maybe you should do a perception check.
Yeah. I'll do a perception
So
check.
if you would.
At the 12.
Well, I want you to know, so I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay, that's an 18 then.
Mel is a young male changeling, probably somewhere between 10 and 12 years old.
Oh, what do you know?
Hi, Oz. I have not showed this to anybody, and I don't even know why I can do this. And he actually starts to cry. I have been so scared.
It's okay, buddy. And Oz kneels down and is like, come here. And tries to hug the kid.
Oz, I like woke up and I was in a room full of people and they were looking at me and they were grabbing at me and I was so scared and all of a sudden all this weird stuff started to happen and it was like I could do stuff and fling my hands and and the room was crazy. It was like I was in a carnival, like a fun house or something I never even saw in my whole life. And everybody was grabbing at me and pulling on me, and I was trying to scream and I got away. I ran. Well, this whole thing, it was like this big carnival thing. Oz, it was crazy. It was on a boat. I was on a boat, and I jumped off and I went into the water and I went really deep in the water and I swam and I had to come up sometimes, but then I don't know how I did it. I was so terrified. I got away. But Oz, I don't know who I am. I can't remember anything before I woke up in that room. And when people look at me, I tried to I found a village or a house. Or I tried to get food or anything, and people just screamed at me and they called me names and they chased me and they tried to kill me. And then there were people looking for me, and I just ran and I hid in the ground and I hid in the bushes and I was terrified. Oz, I don't know how this happened. And I don't know how I did it, but I found I could look like somebody. Okay, I could look like somebody, and then they couldn't find me, and then it was safer, because I looked like somebody else, and so I couldn't just make myself look like nobody, but I could make myself look like somebody, and so I did, and I went around and I was doing that for a while, and then nobody could find me, and so some stuff happened and I stayed some places and I tried, but I kept messing it up because I couldn't hold on to it. But I got better and I got here and Mel worked like being like a really old lady. It worked.
Oh, you found a farm.
I thought I was the only one, Mel, Oz, I thought I was the only one.
I thought I was too.
Stop doing this. Do they know? Did you tell them? Did you show them who you are? The rest of our friends, did you show them?
Yeah, they know who I am. They don't know about you.
Should I tell them?
That's you.
I just want to be safe.
I'll take care of you. I'll make sure nothing happens to you. Don't worry.
I can trust you because we're the same.
Yeah.
So I was working for Bonnie so she could have some time off, but that's over. So I'm going to go to my tower room, and I have a friend up there. I'd love to show you my friend. I found I got a friend. He's little.
Yeah,
furry.
sure thing.
Call him Fluffy. I'll show him to you.
Thank
But
you.
I'm not ready to tell anybody else exactly yet. But maybe I will. I don't know.
Let's go. Come on.
Okay, so yeah, you guys exit Oz's room on the second floor, go up the stairs and down the hallway on the third floor to the tower room, and enter Mel's tower room.
Mel moves the thing aside, and over in the corner, she's all this tinkering and stuff she's been doing. She's been playing around with like string and things, and she's actually tried to construct a spider web, but it doesn't look very much like spider web because it's out of string. And over in the corner, she has managed to gather up and make a little nest that she's trying to make for a fluffy black spider. And that's her buddy.
Oh, look at that. And Oz is a little bit not as excited about the black spider, maybe. But he feigns it's like, oh, wow, he's a little bit nervous. That's
Sometimes,
something.
Oz, sometimes I remember something. I'll get like just a psh. I think I had a spider one other time.
Well, you've got one again now. And do you want to still be called Mel? Is there another name that you know? Or
I can't remember my name. So I think I'm Mel.
yeah. Well,
I
have
don't know
another
what
name.
I'm going to do about everybody else. So I'm going to think about it.
That's your choice. I want you to know that when I told them, they were way more accepting than I thought they would be. And I've been doing some not so good things lately. So I think with you, they'll definitely understand, and everyone here wants to help. We all want
Oz,
to
I've
take care
never
of you.
been so glad to see anybody in my life as I was glad to see you when you changed, and I like you that way the best.
Yeah. Well, this is who we are.
Yeah. It's like we just had to kind of find each other, huh? I got an older brother. Hey,
Come here.
I think it's kind of funny that you guys just signed this house over to a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, looking at that in retrospect, that's a little bit fun.
Oh
I thought it was really funny, and I had to try hard not to laugh.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go to bed now, okay? I'm tired. That
My
being
name's not on
Bonnie,
that
it's
paper.
a real shit case, okay?
My name's on the.
I'm just glad Bill is out of rages for today.
It is several days later, actually. Okay, so in the wake of that scene, I am actually going to shift gears real quick, and we are going to travel backwards in time, because we still have at least one unresolved string from the early part of the downtime. So there was, I believe, when Bill and Oz, when he was still the Oz we knew, were involved with Davos Starsong, there is the matter of the serial killing of elves in the dock ward. So I would like to take us back 4 weeks in time to that moment. So you guys had discussed early on what your strategy was going to be when it came to sniffing out this serial killer situation, okay? And I believe some different things were put on the table. If we could sort of just recap, you don't necessarily have to do it in character if you don't want, but to come to a consensus on what your strategy is going to be for tracking down the serial killer in question.
Oz is going to disguise self to make him look like an elf and be the bait.
Okay.
I'm gonna be the bait in there as well with him.
Okay. So we've got two of you guys as bait, and then the rest are just going to try and hang around and keep an eye on things surreptitiously.
I think Bill probably splashes a little bit of cheap wine on himself and kind of, is mumbling around on the dock ward, just trying to look like your typical dock ward ne'er-do-well. So as not to draw suspicion.
Okay.
Is this something the whole party was involved in?
I believe you guys, they brought it to the whole party, and several of you had offered to assist with this. I believe Oz told everyone what was going on, said that it probably was in everyone's interest to track down the serial killer, even though it was something that Davil had asked him to do.
I thought I remembered that conversation. Gray is probably just going to be skulking around, trying to keep an eye on things, but like more from like the sneak in the shadows perspective, as opposed to like the blend in perspective that Bill is going with.
Gotcha. And I think if I recall correctly, Red, you had asked if there was going to be any time between when you guys had the discussion about what was going on and when the sort of stakeout was going to be to search and see if you could find out anything. If you would still like to make an investigation check to see what you can find out in those few hours.
Indeed. Give me just a second. I did not do so hot.
Okay, with a 9, you try to track things down, but everything's kind of in a bit of an uproar, but nobody knows. They can't seem to determine any pattern of where this guy hits or what night he's going to hit, until they find the body the next morning. But the only pattern, it doesn't seem to matter gender, profession, anything like that. It's just, for some reason, elves and half-elves are being targeted.
In that case, I'm just going to kind of as they're doing their thing, I'm going to kind of Batman my way around the local area. Any other elves that I see besides our bait elves, I'm going to kind of tail them for a little bit, try to keep track of where they are, see if they get home safe, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, because Mel kind of knows the city, she'd been in the sewers and as she first came into the city, she's just going to kind of nose around, look for good hiding places, try to keep an eye on the bait, and have her she'll, like, when the time comes, put on mage armor and just try to ready everything she's got in case she has to rush onto the scene and fight somebody.
So you guys gear up and you head out and you kind of sequester yourselves and disguise yourselves and all of that. And the first night, nothing happens. You try several different spots. You sit and you stake out, and then the next day comes around and there weren't any hits. And so you resolve yourselves to the very next day. The next day after sleeping for a couple of hours, Oz at this point is still working on buttering up the noble that he's talking to. Some of you, Mel is her shopping trips, and all of these things are still happening, right? Going on around this. And then in the evenings, you, on the second day, take another stab at it. And you try another location that was, you're maybe like have a map of Waterdeep and you're trying to triangulate, okay, they've hit here and here, like, can we predict where they're going to go next? And you try another spot, and the second night, nothing happens. No hits. You wake up the next morning and nothing. And so the third night, you get yourselves set up and going. And I think Oz and Arlo are too busy being decoys. Mel, I think Redbeard has a shot at this. And let's see. So Mel, you were just trying to find a place to hide and keep an eye. I think everyone else. I think Redbeard, Mel, Bill, and Beatrice. I'd like you all to make perception checks for me. Okay, nice.
Ooh-wee.
So it's
got the
14,
eagle eye.
18, 23.
They got all the eagle's eyes.
Maybe not so much me.
I have a question out of character before we go any further. Are we as adventurers smart enough to have worked out some kind of a signal sound by any chance?
Yeah,
We
you
didn't
probably
talk
would have
about
discussed that. I feel like, it's been a couple of nights of this. So yeah, I think in the process, you probably had plenty of
Like a
hours sitting
seagull
there
noise.
quietly watching and waiting to try and figure this out.
It wouldn't have to be like something somebody couldn't recognize, but maybe some kind of a big whistle or something, which means get the hell on out here and help.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to take us, for the first time in several sessions, over to a battle map.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Okay,
It's been a while.
Okay, so I would like you guys to kind of place yourselves around. You're sort of at this T intersection, and where you are near, I have this written down. You guys are near the Mule Skull Tavern on Ship Street in the Dock Ward this evening, trying to kind of keep track of things. And so I would like you guys to sort of put yourself around. We've got our two decoys, Oz and Arlo. Oz, of course, being in an elvish face, pretending to use the bard spell Disguise Self. Beatrice, Mel, and Redbeard were all, I believe, sort of finding places to keep an eye on things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be?
Which one of these buildings is the tavern?
This T-shaped one right here, sorry.
Then Oz is going to, hang out probably just outside on like a corner or something and just feign, at this point, not feign, just be drunk.
Right.
And probably he has, like Bill, probably poured some extra on himself to kind of make himself seem a little sloppier, and maybe done the same for Arlo.
Is the place closest to Arlo? Is that the front door of that tavern?
I think the front door actually is in this corner near where
Okay.
Oz is hanging out. Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say that Oz, you can be like pretending to
Yeah.
throw up, and I'm just there like, it's all right, buddy. Let it all out.
Pretending.
Yeah.
Pretending he's actually throwing up.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question before, and then Redbeard, if you'll let me know where you're going to be. Oz, what type of elf did you turn yourself into?
Oz has turned himself into a wood elf.
Excellent. Okay.
I am on top of a nearby building.
Top of a nearby building. Okay. Yeah, that's a great one. Okay, so here's how this goes. Redbeard, you have, with your perception check, you notice, and I think Mel with yours, you notice coming out of the bar is a half-elven man who seems to be quite drunk, and he kind of walks out of the bar and begins heading south. And then he sort of seems to kind of lurch across the street and start heading between these two buildings. And long about the time he passes between the two buildings, you kind of lose sight of him as he goes between the two buildings. And yeah, so Mel and Redbeard have noticed this, this person seems to be the only other like elf or half elf kind of in eyesight, basically. Aside from your two decoys.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm using the bat to kind of watch him as much as I can, and I'm also hopping across the rooftops to get closer.
Okay, let's see. What is your jump distance?
I think that was a 10-foot jump I just did. I feel confident that my jump distance is longer than 10 feet.
Okay, yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so you land on the other side of this building just in time to...
I can do a stealth check because I'm trying not to do it loudly.
Yeah, it probably won't matter. This guy had rolled a nat 20 on his stealth check, and so you don't notice until right before he drops off the building with a sword to land on top of the half elf that there is a dark elf figure who leaps off of the building to attack, and this is going to be a sneak attack. Let's see. Okay, he makes two attacks, and the other one is surprise. So the first attack's gonna have advantage. So he jumps down and deals 11 damage to Haldar, which knocks Haldar unconscious.
Okay, you went through that and didn't give anybody else a chance. I had seen him. I wanted to say that I ducked around behind the building and headed towards Bill to kind of see.
Yeah,
what
give
was
yourself,
going on.
we'll say 30 feet towards Bill.
Let's see.
And then we are going to roll initiative. So, because he rolled you rolled an excellent perception check, but he just happened to roll a nat 20, and his mod is +4, so he barely beat you out on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so he had a 24 stealth check, which chat can attest to. So he barely beat you out. So you don't catch him quite until... Nope, that's not what I want. You.
And I did cast mage armor.
Okay, yeah, you did tell me that beforehand. Okay. Okay.
I forgot to click on my token, but I rolled a 9 for initiative.
Okay.
I got a 21.
Got a 21.
Let me get close enough to heal him.
Okay, so do I have everybody on the board? I've got Beatrice, Oz, Mel, Bill, Redbeard. What was your initiative?
It was like 10.
10. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you leap across the building just in time to see this guy drop off the other side of it, like because he was hiding, down the other side of the building from you, right? As you were over here, he was on the bottom.
Like the corner of his head disappearing.
Yeah, basically. So you get across and peek the top of the building to see him drop off, and so he slashes down with a. And let me pop over. You guys can't see the map. People at home are just like, what are they talking about? We can't see the map at all. Okay. Sorry about that, folks at home. So you guys see this sort of nope. This just explosion kind of blood as he leaps down and slashes into this guy, and then prepares to take off running away. So Redbeard, you know, are kind of the next one behind him, but the rest of you guys hear a scream. And then as we go into initiative, he has the first initiative. So he is going to dash here. Let's see. Does he have, what other things does he have? Jeez. Okay, he made his 2 attacks, and then it was his turn again. Okay, and I think he is going. This is a dash, so he can't. Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I would like Bill to make a perception check because he is gonna dash across the alleyway, but it's going to be a bit of a crapshoot whether or not you notice him because your attention is going to be drawn to the south and he's running north past you, right?
So Bill rolls a 19 to perceive this guy.
Nice. Okay, so he is going to make a stealth check. He did not roll his stealth check. So you hear the faint footfalls of this drow assassin as he runs north past your alleyway after his drop hit. However, the first person is Arlo. Now, Arlo, I don't think you have a shot to have noticed him from here, just based on the angles of the buildings, and the fact that like the sound came from here. But given that, what would you like to do? Oh, I need to move myself, apparently.
That's hard. Would I be able to speak with Bill?
Yeah, I mean, you have Awakened Mind, and I don't believe it takes an action to do that, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look it up.
But he is okay. I have 30.
Yeah, I think he's within 30 feet.
Yeah.
30 feet. I'm going to ask him with my Awakened Mind. What happened over there?
Bill's gonna respond, I think he went that way, and sort of gesture with his physical self into the back courtyard of the alley.
Okay.
So where exactly are you pointing? Like
towards where the guy is.
Yeah,
right here.
He's
So I would
over
know
here.
how about so I'll have an idea where
Yeah,
he's at.
you would know that something's going on over there, based on that conversation.
He said that it was. I will sprint or use my whole dash, I guess you could say. Take the 50 feet. And I have a line of sight of him.
Let's see. Yeah, if you sprinted down that way and took your dash action, yes, you'd be able to see him.
Okay. And
so also
I'm
recall
going-
that dash takes your action, right? So you have a bonus action left, which you can use to cast some spells with, but you can't Eldritch Blast or any of your other main action spells.
I'd be able to. Would I be able to use Hex?
Yes, Hex is a bonus action. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go ahead and use Hex on his what
On his
Remember, he's
dexterity. He's trying to run away, so I'm going to use dexterity on Hex on his dexterity.
All right, so he has disadvantage on any dexterity ability checks that he makes. And that is what you've got. Beatrice, you're up.
Yay! Do I have a shot on him? Probably not because of this
No, because of the
building.
corner of the house.
Yeah, no. You can't quite see him through the... No.
Move and shoot, maybe? How far can I get? 30 feet.
You can get like right next to Bill.
I still wouldn't see him.
Not quite.
Right.
You'll be able to get next to me if you dash.
Then I won't be able to do anything.
Oh.
Staring at him menacingly.
You might, well, sorry to metagame. You might try cutting him off.
Where he's going. Let's move 60 feet north to the, as close to like that northern left corner that I can get.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Oh, you want, okay. So 40 feet gets you here.
Oh.
60 feet gets you
let's try that.
there.
You're gonna dash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just dash there, I guess.
Okay, so that's Beatrice. You dash. You have bonus actions if you wanted to cast any. I don't know that you have anything you can do with him at this point.
I think I have any bonus actions.
Okay, and that brings us to Oz.
Oz is bolting for the victim.
Okay.
So that is, let me, if you can get to right here on this corner, would that be a space that he can fill? Just,
which square were you in to begin with?
it is 30 feet away.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can touch him from there. Then you're within 5 feet.
Yeah,
and
cool.
yeah, I'll say because you're kind of under the building and it's a little weird, but yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah. Oz casts Cure Wounds.
Okay.
On the half elf.
Yeah, let her rip.
That is 6 health.
6 health. Okay, excellent.
You're all right. Don't worry. We've got you.
Yeah, so he's come sputtering back to life once again in a smattering of blood pooling beneath him, but seemingly not dead for now. So that's Cure Wounds. You have bonus actions. Anything you'd like to do?
Fuck it up. It's just a flesh one.
As Oz was running by, he gives Bill Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. Excellent.
You got this.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay. All right, so Bill has Bardic Inspiration. Mel, you are up. So you have kind of tried to cut around towards Bill. You've heard a lot of commotion at this point.
Okay, I want to know what I did here. Did I hear that guy where I heard him heading for this end of the building? You said he like failed his check and Bill did.
So Bill noticed him, and then you've heard 2 sets of footsteps. You saw Arlo run past, and you've seen Beatrice run past to the north. So, make a perception check. We'll see if you heard the first set of footsteps after the scream.
Okay, I got to go back to my core for that. Perception.
11. Yeah, I think with an 11, you're not super sure yet. Well, no, actually, you beat his stealth check. His stealth was 8, so yes, you heard his first set of footsteps running up to the corner of the building. If I heard his first, that determines the direction I come around the end of the building. Then, if I heard him, I want to go this way. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, so I'm going to fly around the end of the building.
Okay.
And of course, run right into him. And I am going to reach out with my shocking grasp.
Okay.
And that, if you remember, is the thing that looks like the buzzer that people used to put on their hands. And I'm doing shocking grasp.
Okay. Yeah. Make a 21. That will actually hit. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
7 lightning damage. Okay. Let me look at this guy.
Yeah.
Nope. Nothing like that. Okay. Also, as we stated, it is nighttime, so Arlo, when it comes to your sunlight sensitivity, it is night, as well as for his. Okay, and so, yeah, Mel, you've done Shocking Grasp. You've hit. You've moved about 10 feet.
I'm so stunned. I got that together, but I think I'm just like right there in front of him. Just
okay. Gotcha. Okay, and Redbeard, you're up.
Okay, so here, from my perspective, is what just happened. This guy I saw someone or something drop off the edge of this roof I'm on.
Uh-huh.
I heard a scream.
Correct.
And then there seems to be a flurry of motion converging on a point that is now, I guess, kind of behind me. Also, I'm on a roof.
Right.
Is it
and I
reasonable
think
to
you
assume...
have a good perspective up here to have seen all of your party members run around in the different places they ran. So you gotta have a sense of where they went.
So here's then what I'm gonna do. Redbeard says, "Hey, Pepper, do a barrel roll." Pepper is gonna. Did we determine Pepper had a 30-foot fly distance? Is that right?
Let's take a look at Pepper. Pepper has a fly speed of 30 feet. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. So I have already counted this out. Pepper is going to go to right here. Whoop. And use the help action to give me advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I have a straight line of sight to this dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a short bow shot at him.
Okay, let it rip.
With advantage.
Uh-huh.
And if I
change the person.
And if I hit, then I will get sneak attack. With
18.
advantage, that's an 18.
That is what you needed. This guy is an 18 AC. He is very lithe and hard to hit. So yeah, you get sneak attack on that.
Short bow plus sneak attack damage. That is 10 points of damage.
Ooh, okay, nice.
And I'm also actually going to move.
Okay.
Because I can also do that. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to get to right here. Hopping down off the roof and kind of like jogging over there.
Okay.
And then I think I still have a bonus action.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's look at what does it take to command Pepper. So let me look up Find Familiar and see. Because I think, maybe Pepper gets their own initiative. I just want to read how the spell is written.
Pepper gets their own initiative and my command.
Independently obeys your command. It rolls its own initiative, acts on its own turn, can attack, it can take other actions as normal. Okay. Yeah. So yes, you still have a bonus action.
I can just communicate with it telepathically, at will, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm gonna use the dodge action as my bonus action.
Okay.
Off of the rogue thing that I think I get at second level.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
I'm just like trying to be as close to this guy as I can. So if he tries to sneak away or anything, I can get like an attack of opportunity or something.
Gotcha.
To try to slow him down.
And also, everybody, you are long rested for this. So if you are missing any health or spell slots that you haven't used during this combat, you can have those back. This is taking
And I
place
did not
during
mean to roll those two rays
that's
of
fine.
frost. I'm sorry. I was just trying to read the spell and
Okay.
So ignore
Bill,
that.
you're up.
All right, so to nobody's surprise, Bill rages.
Whoa, really?
I know. I don't want to catch y'all out of left field or anything.
Pretty basic stuff.
Let's see, too. Can I move through spaces occupied by my teammates?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so Bill's going to
You're
move
good
5,
with
10,
terrain, though,
15,
right?
20, 25.
Do what?
They're difficult terrain, though, right?
You know,
Unless
I
you're-
think that's not actually rules as written. So I know I've done that in the home game before, but I think that's actually wrong. I think they're just regular terrain.
Okay, so Bill, screeching into the night like a banshee, is gonna go after this guy with his hammer, and that is a 19 to hit.
That is going to hit. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, come on! That's gonna be 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Get man
Okay.
mad.
Okay.
Teach you to be a racist.
All right. Anything else from Bill?
Wait a
That was
minute.
action and bonus action.
Isn't
Right?
that my kind?
I mean, yeah, but
I mean, dark elves historically in the Faerun setting are not fans of surface elves. So, okay, that brings us to his turn. He is going to levitate up into
Run
the
away.
air using his innate magic and hop on the roof. Some of you will get attacks of opportunity. Looks like Mel, Bill, and Red will get attacks of opportunity as he just levitates straight up into the air onto the roof. Okay, that is a 10 from Bill.
I'm going to use inspiration. Actually.
Wait, let me look at the what does the help action actually do? Hang on.
Grants
It
advantage.
gives you advantage.
But is it advantage on the next action or on every action for the next round? I need to know.
I think the help action only affects a particular
The next
thing that it was
ability-
called out.
Bill, you still have Bard of Inspiration.
No, the first
I
attack roll is made
do.
with advantage. Yes. So it is just you do have Bardic Inspiration, however. Although, how big is the Bardic Inspiration at this point?
It's only a d6,
Yeah,
so it won't
it's
get
not
you
gonna
past.
you there.
It's okay. Our good friend Vincent Page, I believe, granted me inspiration, and I would love to
love
use
to
it.
use that. Heck yeah, buddy. One of those. Thank you for the chat inspiration. I know Vincent Page is live right now, but thank you, buddy.
Here goes. It better be a good one.
That is it. Yes, courtesy of VP. Right on, man. Okay, roll that damage.
Oh,
That is
oh
a
my
14.
goodness. 14 points of bludgeoning.
Yeah, he
Okay,
takes a
now,
strong hit.
Just knock him down back to the ground.
You said that I got an attack of opportunity, but that
Yes.
has to be with a weapon, not a spell. Is
It
that right?
is, yeah. Unless you have Warcaster, it needs to be with a weapon.
No. Okay. So Mel, seeing him start to move, rips out her rapier and probably makes a noise, and she attempts to hit him with her rapier.
Oof. Okay, so 12 doesn't do it, and 15
And
doesn't
she
do it.
has used her inspiration
Okay.
given to me by the delightful hand pan.
All right, so that's his action. He's moved 5 feet. 10, 15, 20. Okay, so he gets to right there.
How is he still alive? I've hit
gonna
him
make
twice
that-
with my hammer.
Perception check here.
Elves refuse
Okay.
to die.
And so he's at what, 20? He is gonna dash over towards Oz. Yeah, he's gonna dash over towards this roof. Towards Oz.
Oh crap!
Do we need?
And you hear no, wait, no, that's not what he does. I'm sorry, I lied. He actually comes over to this corner of the roof, looks at Arlo, and shouts, "Traitor!" And he pulls out a gun. And he shoots it at us. Sorry. So, oh no, he can't do that. He's did levitate. So levitate is it. So he pulls out a gun, points it at Arlo, and says, "Traitor!" And he's got it trained on you like he's getting ready to fire at the next opportunity. But he does not have action surge,
Gun?
nor does he have and that's not a bonus action. So he's cast levitate, so he can't do that this time.
He is exercising his Second Amendment rights.
But so he floated up, jumped across the
Second
roof.
Amendment of Waterdeep says don't say bad things to the nobles.
That is, and that's not an amendment. That's just that's actually the
Right.
penal
Oh,
code.
my bad.
There are no amendments.
They don't have amendments.
Yeah,
How tall is
yeah,
this
but he
building?
shouts at Oz or at Arlo and shouts "traitor" and pulls his gun.
How
and
tall
that's-
is this building?
The building, I'm gonna say 10 feet tall.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought the second
So
law.
can I climb
So
it?
Arlo,
and-
that brings us to you.
Can I climb it and be right here?
You
and that'll
could.
be 30 feet?
But you could, but why would you?
Why?
That's true. Traitor? I don't even know what he's talking about. All right, let's see. What I'm gonna do.
I mean,
use
you can
Eldritch.
make a history check for me. It's not going to take your action if you want to make a history check to see why he would say that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll do that.
No shooties.
Even though my history is not that bad.
Also,
I mean, it's
other than the
bad.
one dark elf you've seen in the yawning portal with a gun, none of you have ever seen a gun before.
This is that same job.
So he pulls out some sort of metal
my
thing.
goodness.
History
Watch
check.
out,
Okay.
he's got a
So
stick.
Arlo, you surmise he must have seen you fraternizing with a wood elf and thinks that you are a traitor to dark elf kind for that. So
even though I know a lot of other elves.
yeah, I mean, obviously this guy is on some sort of bent here.
I've got a
right?
ton of elf friends. What are you talking about?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
basically.
He's a yeah. So Arlo, it is up to you. So you see him whip out this strange metal object and point it at you, angrily shouting "traitor," and he probably shouts it in Elvish, and probably in like the Dark Elven dialect of Elvish. So
I didn't like that.
which you would recognize.
If I would rage, I would rage.
If so, who all speaks Elven and understood that?
Oz does.
Just common and thieves can't, I'm afraid.
So Oz understood it. Anybody else? No.
Bill barely
I didn't.
speaks common, so
David, I
enough.
sent you a text message.
Okay.
I'm gonna move up just one space, which would be 5 feet, and then I'm gonna use Elder's Blast.
Okay.
that's a 23.
23 to hit.
Wow. Woo, woo, woo.
Even though I didn't.
For 2 force damage.
Can
Sorry,
I
I'm
use
responding to
inspiration
that.
on that one?
Okay. Unfortunately, no. But you do hit him with that. You do hit him with that for 2 damage.
The most accurate, tiniest
And
object.
so, but he does need to make a concentration check to maintain his thing, which he succeeds. So he maintains levitate on himself and takes 2 damage. And yeah, there we go.
I guess
Any other
I'm
movement?
gonna be.
Oh no! You also get your
I
hex
guess-
damage. You've hexed him. You get 1 more d6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
And I probably won't remember that for you again. So try to main.
Yeah, I got you. Where is? Oh, here it is.
Roll a d6, roll a d6.
There we go. That's a 1.
One more damage.
Yes!
buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you show him who's boss,
Yeah.
Arlo.
So I have a question for you. What is it about this guy's shouting of traitor at you, and like, does he evoke memories of your past, or are you just confused because that's not really your history? Like, what exactly
I kind
is
of
it
want to.
that causes you to be
I kinda wanna
disaffected
get,
from
like,
this attack?
I will get sad. I'm gonna get a little bit sad because I know that I've been talking with elves that I'm not supposed to. But I mean, at the point is that I mean, I left my thing, my past behind, and
Yeah.
I met new people, and that's what awoken me to the world.
Okay, so
But
maybe you
I
almost
still will
feel
be a little
sorry
bit
for this
sad,
guy that
that's why.
he's. Maybe you almost feel a little bit sorry for this guy that he's still like caught up in this culture that's obviously kind of sick. But you know, and maybe for a second you pull a punch because you're like, I used to know a lot of people like that, and it was messed up.
that is what is affecting my damage.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And Beatrice.
Nee, what do I do?
I think you probably
decline.
can see him through this alleyway a little bit, maybe. Maybe make a perception check. If you can beat his 8 stealth check, we'll give you that you kind of saw how this went down.
Well, fingies crossed.
14. Yeah, okay. So you, out of the corner of your eye as you were racing over here, saw him hop across the roofs after levitating. And you know you can probably squeeze through this alleyway and have a shot on him or something.
All right.
If you so choose.
Pop a shot and I don't know how well this is gonna go. Yeet. Nope.
Oof. Yeah, that unfortunately is not going to quite get you there.
Any movement. Let's see. I'm gonna move a little bit, like maybe to this corner here. And just keep an eye on things.
Okay. All right.
I actually have a question for the DM.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're right next to the docks, right? Like we're next to where
Right
the
next
water's
to the
at.
docks. I can show you guys where you. No, you're not. I don't think you're right next to the water. We'll pop over to a map of Waterdeep for a second, and I will show you guys. Let's see. Where was this joint? Okay. You are on the very south part of the city. You're not that far, but you're not right on it. So Mule Skull Tavern is at this T intersection. I have put it in slightly the wrong spot. It is actually where this T is right here. Right? So you guys came from the dock itself up this big street, right? And then they ran south, and you're kind of all running around in this little square right here. That make sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes.
And I'm kind of amazed that my map actually looks right, because I totally just threw that shit together at the last minute, and it actually looks sort of like the area where this is really supposed to be happening. So kudos to me there, friends. Yeah. So you're you're about a football field away from the water itself. Nope, that's not what I want. I want to take you back to the battle map. Bloop. There we are. So, okay.
All right.
Can I?
So-
Yeah. Okay, Oz, go ahead.
All right. So Oz runs to. If I'm right here in this cube, or in this square, will a 15-foot cube still hit him, even though he's on top of a rooftop?
I think the building is gonna block it.
Okay. But if I'm right here.
I think if you're more like right, you can probably hit him.
Maybe like right here.
Here or here. Any of like these spots. Because you're blowing at the building and it's tall enough that it's going to catch him, right?
Yeah. Cool. Then Oz is going to go right here into the mouth of the alleyway if he can hit it from there, and just enshroud this entire side of the building in the 15-foot cube.
Yeah, I'll allow it. I don't think this fringe case is gonna come up all that often, so I'll say yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool. And as he runs out, if he can get, I don't think you don't need line of sight to give inspiration or to give bardic inspiration, right?
I think maybe you do. I think it says a creature you can see. Let's read how it is written.
Choose one creature. Yep, that can hear you.
That can hear you. Okay, so no,
Yeah.
you don't have to have line of sight.
And he yells out, "Mel, you've got this!" To give Mel magical inspiration.
Okay.
And it's cited in the chat at the cost of one of his bardic inspiration.
Okay.
And he casts Thunderwave to push this fucker off the roof.
Oh, wait a second. And casts a spell that restores hit points. The creature can roll that die and choose a target affected by this.
Yeah, so it's just she has bardic inspiration, and if she wants to use that d6
Damage roll if she wants.
on the damage roll of her next spell,
Or
she can
deals
do that.
damage. I gotcha. Okay, cool. Yep, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, let her. Okay. And then you pop that thunder wave, yes?
That sweet thunder wave. He's got to make a DC 14 Constitution save or get pushed 10 feet.
He fails, so he gets pushed 10 feet.
He goes, bah, bah, bah.
So he gets blown over onto the other roof of this building across that alleyway.
And takes 3 thunder damage.
And takes 3 thunder damage. Okay.
Yeah. Does he...
he does need to make a concentration check.
Can we say if his levitation fails, he hits this?
His levitation did fail. I'm going to have him make a dexterity saving throw. No, I'm going to have him make an acrobatics check, which he has disadvantage on because of the hex.
The hex.
Nice.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, but he rolled a 19 and a nat 20, so he does still manage to kind of like roll himself. He kind of like hits it in the middle, but managed to like kick his legs and roll himself, and he's laying prone on the roof. Yeah, I think he's laying prone, so we'll go ahead and put that. Where is my back? He's prone. Okay. Anything else from Oz?
Nope, that's all.
Okay, Mel, you're up.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what Mel heard because that will determine where she moves. She saw him head up over the top of the roof. She heard the scrabble. And then she heard the stuff with Oz, and she heard the guy get blown back. I mean, is that how much
basically.
of all that is she aware of?
I'm going to say all of it.
Okay. Mel is going to, if she's here, she knows that he thumped on the front of the roof. She can't see him because the whole building is in her way. She started to go one way. She probably went, okay. So then she dashes through them to a point at which she can see the guy.
Okay.
Would that be? I think she went straight through Belle. She's right there.
Yeah, you can see
Okay.
it from there. He is prone, so if you're making ranged attacks,
Okay. As she ran forward, as he was doing that, what happened to his gun?
it's in his hand.
Can she see
he's laying this way. It's in his right hand, which is kind of dangling off the side of the building a little bit.
She sees it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Seeing that, I mean, okay, she sees his gun. All right, but she's trying to stop the guy or whatever. So she's going to throw her magic missile at him, and at the magic missile, which is like it's vaguely reminiscent of ball bearings flying across the things, heated hot ball bearings that are going to smack into him with magic missile.
Yeah. Okay, and you roll
it was
three
a three.
of those.
The magical inspiration wouldn't even help me, would it?
No, that automatically hits.
Yeah, and also you shoot 3 darts, remember? So you'll roll that 3 times, and then you can roll the magical inspiration.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. So I got to do it 2 more times. Okay.
And then you can roll an extra d6 to do additional magic damage.
Okay.
With the bardic.
1d6. Okay, so that's 8, 13, 14, 15.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's 15.
She does that because she was primed for it. Okay, that's what she had made her.
Yeah.
But as she goes ahead, she releases it, the whole thing. But when she sees that gun, she comes to a dead halt, and she does that. She just comes. She didn't see it till after she did her thing because she was so determined to do it. But it's as she's looking at him after she hits him, she sees the gun. Mel goes blank.
Okay. Excellent. All right, and that brings us to Redbeard.
Okay, so basically what just happened is this dude disappeared over a rooftop.
Yep.
He stood and pointed a gun at Arlo, and then he got blasted onto the rooftop right next to me.
Correct.
So I would have heard the clickety-clack as he hit the rooftop next to me.
Yeah.
Probably.
It would be pretty obvious what happened here.
Now, one of the things I haven't gone into very much about my character is that while he has amnesia and isn't quite sure where he's from, he comes from a modern setting and has been through some shit. So he hears the click of that gun.
Uh-huh.
And then he hears the bang, and he hears the guy with the gun hit the roof right next to him, and he screamed. Now he can communicate telepathically with the bat, so he tells the bat more or less perfectly what he wants it to do, but what he says out loud is, "Pepper, hot iron!" And Pepper flies around to right here, does the help action.
Okay.
Redbeard flips up onto this roof next to this guy.
Okay.
With an acrobatics check if necessary. And makes
yeah, I think it's just climbing, which, because you don't have a climb speed, is just double
and I'm
movement.
like right there.
Yeah, so
I'm like right there.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, he parkours up onto the roof and then he grapples this dude.
Okay.
With advantage.
Okay. So that is going to be
a strength check.
Yeah. Yes. So for you, it is a athletics check, and for him, it normally would be. See, he's got disadvantage. He probably is going to use strength because he's got disadvantage due to hex. So
with advantage, I've got a 12.
He has a 14. It looks like on his strength. So he does manage to just. Wait. Is being prone? Let me look at prone. Because that may influence.
It's a melee attack. I think it just gets
disadvantage on attack rolls, and people have advantage against it. Okay, so here's the thing: is that a grapple check is a kind of. Well, you already had advantage, so yeah, that doesn't. Okay, so unfortunately, just due to the situation, he still is able to break free.
Okay, but I'm in melee distance.
Yeah, you're in melee distance.
If he tries to go anywhere, I'll at least get an attack of opportunity.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. That brings us to Bill.
Oh gosh. Okay. With it being him being 10 feet up.
Yeah.
Is it? He's out of reach essentially in melee.
Well, the reach. You have a 5-foot reach. And you're at least 5 feet tall, he probably I'm gonna use cover rules maybe, even though it's not a ranged attack. So he probably has at least half cover. Even if you jump, just to make a representation of the... Or tell you what, now here's what we'll do. I say it's a flat attack roll. You would have advantage because he's prone, but because of the distance involved, you're either going to have to like stretch or jump or something, and I think that would give you disadvantage. So I think it's just a flat roll.
I'll take it.
Could he also, not to metagame, could he climb this part of the building and stand right there? And
If Bill was inclined to do so, he might be able to do so, but that's...
sorry.
It doesn't really look like there's anywhere for Bill to stand. Wait, I mean, at this part of the building, am I technically in melee contact?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not a perfect representation, right? These
all right,
things
then
wacky, so.
Bill is going to scream and launch himself up onto the
Okay.
onto the roof, and he's going to come down with the hammer on this guy.
Okay.
Which means that it would be an attack with advantage. Is that right?
Yes, because he's prone. Correct.
This whole group just turned into Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon with the like kung fu flips.
All right, so that's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Yeah, I have to think that Bill's getting on the 15. Good God.
Oh goodness.
That Bill's getting on the roof is a lot less graceful than Red's.
Oh, it's all brute force.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
Power jumps.
All right. Well, that brings us to him. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. He is going to make a run for it.
He's prone.
Yeah, so he has to use half his movement to get up. Oh god, no, he's hosed. No, I think... All right, here's what he's going to do. He is going to stand up, look around, grit his teeth, turn the pistol on Arlo one last time, and fire. He does not have disadvantage because of he has this trait right here. Gunslinger, being within 5 feet of a hostile creature and attacking at long range, does not impose disadvantage on the Drow's range attack rolls with the pistol. In addition, it ignore half and 3/4 cover when making ranged attacks with the pistol. So, Arlo, I think he has advantage from being up there. So that's a 23 to hit.
It hits.
Okay. That is 14 damage, and piercing damage, and 11 poison damage as this bullet slams into you.
Big blow.
So that, yeah. No, I'm down.
Okay, so Arlo is down. And you lose concentration on Hex, obviously, when you go down. And this guy is no longer
Does
down.
the poison also affects right away, right?
Yeah, it just says the attack from this pistol does 1d10 plus 4 piercing damage plus 2d10 poison damage. Because Drows are notorious for using poison on things. And then he is just going to try and... He's used 15 feet. He's just going to try and jump down and run and hope for the best. So we'll start with this. He's going to jump down. Red, you... as he's moving past, you get an attack of opportunity by the time he gets here. So,
Okay.
if you want to roll that.
Yeah, I definitely do.
And he's moved 10 feet. He's got 5 more.
God damn it.
Oof, rip. And he is just hobbling at this point. He gets 5 more feet, and Bill, you have an attack of opportunity.
Oh goodness, and what an opportunity. And that's a 24 to hit.
Jesus Christ,
Yes,
Bill.
yes, go
Fucking-
Bill.
Okay.
Nobody shoots my best friend.
Go ahead and roll damage.
That is
Whew.
13 bludgeoning damage.
How do you want to do this?
I want to smash his face.
Okay.
Bill seeing what he believes is his best friend, this giant blue warlock gambler, get shot point blank, is obviously confused. And as we all know, Bill doesn't handle cognitive dissonance well. So he slings his hammer around in a whirlwind and smacks this guy as he's coming across. And it seems just like he probably shatters about half of his spine.
Yeah, so as this guy's like jumping off the building, Bill just catches him and I think flings him to the ground with the force of the hit, and you hear the sickening crunch of bone, and the guy slams into the ground. The pistol goes skittering away, and he lays just bleeding out dead on the pavement right next to Mel.
Redbeard tumbles
And
off
I think,
the roof
sorry,
and goes
just to interrupt,
chasing.
sorry, before Redbeard gets there, Mel, the pistol lands directly at your feet, and then Redbeard, go ahead.
Yeah, Redbeard like falls, like rolls off of that. It's not a pretty dismount or landing from this roof, but he hits the ground running with probably a few scrapes and bruises and goes charging after the pistol.
Okay.
Mel sees the pistol land at her feet, and Mel collapses.
Okay.
Oz runs and heals Arlo.
Okay.
Bill.
Go ahead and roll that healing.
Yep.
Bill runs to Mel.
Corner eventually, like, what happened?
That's max healing, baby.
Nice. So, Arlo, you gain 12 hit points. And Beatrice, what was that?
Beatrice comes running around the corner eventually, having been away from the fight for most of it. Like, what happened?
What kind of hell
And
was that?
she would see Bill cradling Mel, screaming, "Not again! Not again!
Oh, man.
Redbeard rolls up on Bill and Mel as if he doesn't even realize they're there, despite how loud Bill is being, and just picks. Is the gun still there to pick up?
Yeah, the gun's still there to pick up.
He just picks it up and looks at it.
Yeah.
Is this like a flintlock, a 9mm?
It's like a flintlock kind of thing, yeah.
It's like a flintlock kind of thing. He just really like scrambles over there to get it, and then as soon as he gets it, he just freezes and starts looking at it, and is like, "Why is this so familiar to me?"
A
Yeah.
hell of a wand.
Oz.
I'm able to get up now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
I want to like get on like Oz's shoulder, like, oh, thanks. Can you walk me to the elf?
Yeah, sure thing. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, and I think also in the process that half elf sort of stumbles around the building and looks at the mess and sort of breathes heavily. And okay, go ahead. You guys were- yeah, sorry, Arlo, you wanted to be dragged over
Oh,
there.
I was gonna ask. Yeah, so once he drags me over there, do I know like a way where they get buried or like how they use, like, you know, as my culture? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it happens a lot of different ways depending on the status of the person in question. You know, particularly bad individuals are dropped down a cliff and fed to driders, which are half drow, half spider people, cursed by Lolth the Spider Queen. All the way up to like important people are interred in family crypts in Menzoberranzan down beneath the earth. So, and a dark elf on the surface? No, actually, there's not really any culturally relevant things, right? So, like a commoner dark elf, they are not typically treated with a lot of respect by like the nobles. A family might have a little plot somewhere where they inter their people, but like the noble families that run everything in dark elf society, they care about their own dead, but they just as soon, like, you know, literally leave a commoner dark elf where they fell. And then as far as ones on the surface are concerned, any dark elf that's on the surface can be assumed to be either a commoner or a reject of one of the noble houses. And as far as dark elf culture is concerned, not really due any particular respect. So Arlo might feel differently about these things, but those are the things that are kind of true in the Forgotten Realms about dark elves and how they operate.
so what I'm gonna do is, I'm pretty sure like no one's gonna care about him, right? Because he was killing. Well, he was killing our kind. It was my kind. So
Make a history check for me.
No, he was your kind. He was killing other kinds of people.
With a
I'm gonna,
4. Yep, he was.
I'm gonna
it
burn
must-
my inspiration.
Okay, yeah, let her rip. 17. Okay, with a 17, as you now think back on all of the victims, none of them had dark elf ancestry. They were all wood elf, high, sun elf, any of those things. None of them were dark elves. So it seems like he was just continuing on the sort of dark elvish hatred for surface elves and carrying that out.
What I want to do is I'm gonna drag him to the well. I'm still pretty mad / sad about what he said to me. So what I really want to do is I'm gonna like pick him up and like take him to the water and just put him in the like throw him in the water.
Okay.
Corpse in the harbor. Yeah.
Okay. So here's,
can I
go ahead?
But before we do that, can I see if he has anything on him? Like I want to like know how he.
You want to go through his pockets first.
Yeah, go to his pockets first
before you throw his
so
body in the fucking ocean.
Here's the thing, and I think you would all know this. Oz cast a really loud spell, and yes, it's the middle of the night in the dock ward, but a fight of the magnitude you just have, you've got a very short amount of time before some type of authorities show up.
There's also a fucking gunshot.
Yeah, and there's a gunshot, right? Those are loud, right? So you can, I'll give you maybe an investigation check with disadvantage if you want to rummage his pockets really quickly, but if you want to make sure you get stuff off of him, there's a chance that guards show up and ask, who are you? Why is this dead body here? So
Oz runs over to a half elf whenever everyone's done.
Now,
I'll
you
go ahead
guys,
and
you
take
know,
the
like you
disadvantage.
have the eyewitness account that this guy tried to kill this half elf and that you were defending him, but you know, you're also somewhat known criminals, so there's, I'll leave it up to you what you do with this information, but I think Arlo would be savvy enough to know that there is at least some chance of having to deal with an authority presence if you linger too long here.
Redbeard stuffs the gun into his clothes somewhere.
Okay.
I'll take the. Oh, go ahead, Mel.
As Mel regains consciousness and Bill is holding her and Bill is saying, not again, she is saying, not again, not again, not again. And she tries to climb inside of Bill. She grabs a hold of Bill and she just like buries her head in his neck and she is like holding on to him for dear life. And she's saying into his neck, not again, not again, not again.
Not again. Not again, again.
Not again.
Okay, Arlo. So I think
I'll
you
take
at this point are expressed. So what do you do?
I'll take the disadvantage, but if
Okay.
I mean if I don't get anything, I'm just gonna take
Okay.
them straight to the.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and roll.
Oh!
Okay, so
22!
so you lose the nat 20, but with the 22, I will give you. You find the pouch of his bullets and powder. None of which, I mean, you guys know what this is, right? This is gunpowder and bullets for the gun. The characters may not really know that, but you find his bullets and powder, and it's going to be enough for. I'm gonna roll. Let's see, and 14 shots worth, basically, of however this pistol operates itself. And the bullets are poisoned with this drow poison. None of you would probably be proficient in gun. So
I have a question.
Yes.
What kind of check would it be for this gun object? So one of the things about my character that we have not really gone into very much on stream is that I am from a more or less modern time and have amnesia.
Right.
Looking at this crude gun thing, what kind of check would it be for this object to trigger like some kind of weird flashback from my former life? Would that just be intelligence? Would it be wisdom?
Wisdom saving throw.
I think it would be a intelligence-based check. So if you're proficient in history, it's a history check. Otherwise, it's just an intelligence check.
Okay.
And I'll give
Then
you a DC
just
10
an
on that.
intelligence check.
Whoa.
16. Yeah, so okay. So this does bring back some memories. You have a rough sense of how this object functions. You know that it's like, in the terms that this character is familiar with, it's like a magic wand, kind of. It shoots a projectile, but it doesn't use magic. It uses this special sand that explodes, kind of, to launch a little thing out of its tube that hurts people. and that's kind
Well, I
of
need an explosive and a projectile to make it work.
yeah. You get that far, sure.
Okay, got it.
So,
And then I stash it in my coat and try to make myself scarce.
okay. And so Arlo, you find the pouch with the stuff. You find the pouch with the bullets and the powder. And let's see, he has on him a short sword. He doesn't really have a lot of other stuff. If you'll hang on for 1 second, let me see. Okay.
I just got a new short sword.
Yeah, he doesn't have any other identifying things on him. So just the short sword, the now missing pistol, and the bag of powder and stuff. He didn't really seem to be carrying much money
go ahead
or any identifying stuff.
That's fine. I'll go ahead and just dump them in the
Okay.
water.
And then as for everybody, what's your strategy here? Is your strategy to tell the guards are going to show up at some point? So is the strategy to scatter before they show up? Is it to try to convince them of what happened? What's the plan here? And Arlo, make an athletics check for me to see how quickly you can dump this body.
Oh no.
14. Okay, 14's fast enough. You feeling the urgency of the moment, drag this guy to the harbor and huck him in.
Hey guys, I have an idea. Let's dip. Let's dip.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him to safety. Let me.
Okay.
He's gonna be. I'll catch up. I'll see you all later.
Yeah,
and Oz runs over to the half elf.
Okay.
Bill holding Mel is probably just gonna take off running towards Troll Skull.
Okay. So Bill runs. How far is it? Let's look at this. Hang on. I'm going to say, Bill, you can run a number of miles equal to, with carrying Mel, half of your Constitution modifier. So, you are currently here. Troll Skull Manor. The quickest way to get there is probably...
We're not on the map.
Yeah, I'm getting there. You are 14,000 feet away from Troll Skull Manor. So that is almost 3 miles.
Okay, well, I can get about 2 of those, but I before Mel has to use her own feet.
Yeah. So you just take off trucking and you make it well up into the North Ward.
As you know, Mel's gonna get in there and help out too. She'll calm down as you know, he's whatever.
Yeah. Okay. And then as for Beatrice suggested scatter. I'm assuming Redbeard already said he kind of took off with the gun. Arlo dumps the body. Oz sort of takes care of the victim. And so, yeah, I think you guys get out of there before the cops show up. And I think I would like to go ahead and we can deal with if anyone has conversations that need to happen as a result of this encounter. I guess let's go ahead and do that because the next thing we're going to do is the reunion with Davil and reporting on the job. So, does anyone have any RP that needs to happen amongst the characters about the fallout of this particular encounter?
Not of this particular thing, no.
Okay.
Not amongst the characters.
Okay.
I guess my character would just go into the library and shut the door.
Yeah.
Set like really loud and lock it. And I'm inside the library.
Okay.
Redbeard would probably go back to someplace he felt was safe
Okay.
and just get the gun out again and just stare at it.
Well,
Yeah.
I think B would have probably noticed Redbeard being distraught about it and would have tried to find him in the aftermath. Like, hey, buddy, you all right?
Well, it sounds
Honestly,
to me like
I'm
he
probably
took it. Go ahead.
distraught enough that regardless of where I'm going, I'm probably not that hard to follow.
Okay.
I doubt anybody else would have followed me, but Beatrice probably could have.
Okay.
I just like to imagine Oz is sitting on the dock waiting for Oz Prime, and he just sees this lump of the dark elf floating in the bay, and he's like, "Oh,
Ooh.
Didn't put tie rocks to it or anything.
Yeah.
Just dumped
Dump in
it.
the bay. Maybe he gets like a stick and shoves it out to see a little bit. Ooh. Okay, Beatrice and Red, go ahead.
So she's gonna like tentatively knock at the door. Gray?
This is probably just someplace I've squatted before.
Oh, squatted. Okay.
The door probably, like when she goes to knock on it, more or less just like swings a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is like this is a house where like like the roof is kind of caved in on one side, maybe a little bit, and it's clearly just sort of derelict, but there's enough shelter in one corner of it that a person can kind of squat there. Yeah.
And there's like a real little fire, and Gray is just sitting in front of the fire with this gun, like
Gray?
Oh, Beatrice! Stuffs the gun into his clothes somewhere. Come in. I wasn't expecting visitors here ever. What can I do for you?
You seemed a little distraught back there. You're usually pretty well put together of a person. Like, you don't really get frazzled very easily, but something about that really shook you with the magical metal stick thing.
Well, Beatrice, and he goes ahead, he like sheepishly takes the gun back out. Have you ever seen one of these before?
Can't say I have, no. Was it like a wand?
Do you know what it does?
I mean, I heard a loud boom, so I imagine it's some kind of like wand of some kind.
See, here's the weird thing. I do know what it is. I do know what it does. And how. I'm just not sure why I know that.
You don't remember.
This is not magic. This is not a magical object. It's science? Science is what makes this work. So this is basically just a tube, right? With this little clicky mechanism. And you put an explosive charge up against the clicky mechanism and it lights. And then there's a projectile in the tube. And when the explosive material in this tube lights, it propels the projectile, the solid object, it propels it forward, right?
Interesting.
And I, in all of my time in this region, have never seen an object that functions like this. And I can only ever remember being here in this region, but I swear I've seen this before and I know how it works.
How far back do you remember?
He sets the gun on the ground. Honestly, about 5 years.
5 years.
He seems to be in maybe his 20s or his 30s as they're having this conversation. So I mean, like 5 years ago he was an adult.
So you don't remember your childhood at all? You suddenly were an adult and...
I woke up in Waterdeep, I think about 5 years ago. And I've been doing the best that I can since then.
That must have been really disorienting.
And that's all I know, and that's all I remember, except that I have a certain set of skills.
And you know what those are?
They come in handy in certain situations. And for some reason, I recognize this object even though it is outside of the scope of my experience in this city or the surrounding regions.
You ever thought about looking into that?
I mean, sure, I've thought about it. Of course I've thought about it. It's just never been the most immediate demand on my plate, if that makes sense.
I guess.
I'm mostly just busy trying to survive. This world is harsh.
It can be. But with friends, it becomes a little less harsh, and then it frees up a little time to, find out who you are. Maybe you have family somewhere that misses you.
I mean, I do pretty well for myself. I don't want for much. I work a lot. I just try to stay busy. I guess I've spent the last few years since I woke up, as it were, more or less trying to avoid
What if you're like
questions like you're asking me now. Who actually am I? Where did I come from?
What if you're like a forgotten prince?
I find that in many cases it doesn't matter. What matters is what I can accomplish and whether or not I eat the next day.
True. But wouldn't that be kind of neat if you were like a forgotten prince or something?
Oh, honey. No prince knows how to do anything I know how to do. Except maybe the sword play. But based on the things I woke up knowing how to do, I do not think I was a prince in a past life somewhere. Or at least not in this life that I can't remember. I don't mean to upset you. I'm going to keep this thing handy. And we're going to do our best to find your mentor. Speaking of which,
Yes.
a thing we, or at least I would have done in fairly recent history, I'm not sure where it would fall on the timeline, is we grabbed Beppus's wife and just straight up told her, your family has a ransom offer and doesn't want to pay it.
Yeah,
and then
so
just her own devices.
Like,
so I want to check
encouraging
in.
her to confront
right.
them.
So in the timeline, what's happening right now, this conversation is in the first week of your downtime. So you guys actually probably haven't revealed that information yet.
Okay.
So we've
But yeah,
skipped around a bit. But
Sometime in like the very near future, after dropping that bomb on her,
Okay.
I want to be keeping an eye on a good chunk of what she does.
Okay.
Especially moving in and around her family's estate.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right, was there anything else in this scene then?
Are you asking everybody or just them?
Just them as they're wrapping up this.
I think this scene is basically wrapped.
Okay.
I just
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we'll handle what happens. I may handle it next session because we're getting close to our end here. Mel, did you have something you want to do? Because I need to do the Davil discussion, and then there's one last thing I need to do, but there's time for maybe one more thing before we hit that.
I think not. I think Mel just is going to go into her room
Okay.
and
Okay. Yeah, last call. Bill, Arlo, Oz, anything you want to do before the Davil conversation?
Nope.
I guess
Nothing here.
I guess for Arlo, I would be looking for books about dark elf, like where
Gotcha.
I came from, and writing notes about the pouch.
Okay.
The bullets
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
in the library that is in Troll Skull, it's mostly was derelict to begin with. There's not much in there. You probably could check in with the bookseller who lives up the street, but I think we'll need to handle that on a future session. Don't let me forget,
That's
because
fine.
there's a lot of moving pieces to this campaign, and I'm trying to spin all the plates. But yeah, you guys, if you can help.
Other
me
than
keep
that,
going.
I'll be like examining the bullets and the poison that it did
Okay.
to me.
And yeah, so then I think we will cut to the conversation with Davil. Now, who is going to go to that conversation? Obviously, Bill and Oz were both given this as a mission. Oz as a return of a favor for the information they got that helped lead to the rescue of Notorious Lothario Flea Blagmar, and Bill as his first true mission for the Zentarum. So, is anyone? I know other people helped. Is anyone else coming to this meeting, or is it just those two?
I don't think that we would be privy to that information. So.
Yeah, Oz told Arlo about it, and that's all Oz told about.
Right. Yeah. So Arlo was there when the job offer was made, right? So
Yeah.
I just didn't know if anyone brought anyone else in, but if not, it's just you two. So Bill and Oz travel back to the Yawning Portal. Probably,
Actually,
the
I'll
beginning. Go what?
I'll be with them.
You'll go with them. Okay, so the
Yeah,
boys return to the Yawning Portal, following the successful investigation into what's happening to these elves. And of course, you find Davil holding court at his usual table on the second floor, kind of stowed away in a dark corner. This is where he predominantly does business. And you can see Yagra gets up from the table. And maybe right after this is where Bill and Arlo, as we went back in the timeline, had the discussion with Yagra about helping out the heist, which at this point in time was still being planned. So, you all nod to each other, and then Davil says, Ozymandias, Bill, welcome. Word on the street is you may have some news for me.
More of the news. Got a little blood on my hammer.
Oh my, well, do tell.
Take it away, Oz.
Let's just say the streets are safe for Elvenkind again.
Well, as an elf myself, you have no idea the amount of relief that gives my heavy heart.
Yeah, turns out it was a drow.
Oh,
Some long-standing, you know how.
Well, don't be stingy with the details.
Some drow culture is.
It was a dark elf.
Oh, I see. Well, don't be stingy with the details, boys. Don't tease me like this.
Oh, don't worry. I'll tell you about each and every bone I felt as I was breaking them.
How charming.
Yes, so we found him outside of one of the local taverns in the Dark Ward. He attacked a half-elf. I managed to stabilize him and get him to safety. Strangest thing, the drow had some kind of device or wand or something that tore holes in people. Arlo got a taste of it firsthand.
It went
his head
boom.
sort of. His head, yeah. So as you say, say that again, Bill.
It went boom.
Yeah. So as you say, it went boom, and that it knocked a hole in Arlo. You see his head kind of snap up, and he says, describe this object to me."
Well, it was curved. It had I didn't get much of a good look at it. It was dark.
A stick.
Like a wand.
I don't know. Big Blue was staring right at it.
Can you describe it to him?
Well, it shot one of these, and I brought just one that I'm carrying, and I give him. I handed the bullet to him. I should say the bullet.
Yeah.
It shot one of those at my chest.
He doesn't pick it up. He just sort of looks at it and says, "Oh, curious. Well, I've heard tell of possibly weapons. This gives me an idea of who's interesting. Well, I thank you for your service. You have certainly helped elves all across Waterdeep sleep better at night. And, of course, you have helped Solon. I'm sorry, you have helped Heldar, the elf in question, half-elf in question, survive the attack. And so, as a reward, he pulls out 50 gold per each one of you. And he says, "And Bill, well done. I believe I hold you in slightly higher esteem. You have, I don't know if you anywhere to document this, but you have gained 1 renown with the Zentarum. Renown is a mechanic that we don't really have time to get into right this second, but that is kind of used with factions in 5th edition. So
Is it 50 gold a pop? So the
Yes,
three of us got 50 gold?
Each character receives 50 gold.
Okay, cool. Just looks to the others and is like, we should split this up with the others, right?
Like we all.
What?
We should split this up with the others, right? Like we all took part in this, right?
Boy, if I
killed him.
Boy, if I got shot.
And Davil says, "Well, as I said, you've done well. Thank you for your help. Bill, I'll be calling again on you in the future." And so he sort of makes a gesture as if he's dismissing you, so that you can negotiate the terms of the dispensary of this cash somewhere else.
I took back the bullet.
Yeet, raid!
OMG! Welcome, Raiders! Holy cow!
Woo!
All right, awesome.
Voice.
What a time! Wow. But yeah, once I'll call on you soon. I have some things that need to get taken care of. Just talking about finding a venue, the thing that he owes Davil another favor for.
Okay. Yeah, and
And
so
for
obviously
all
that's
the-
where that's going to happen. Go ahead.
For all the Yeet fleet who are joining us, I encourage you to watch this episode on YouTube when it's published. His high Yeetness granted my character Bill inspiration that really came through.
It really did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there have been quite a few major reveals today. So if you've missed any of those, please go check them out. They'll be on. Actually, why don't I just put?
Good game.
It'll be on YouTube. Our link is right here. It would help if I spelled these right. So, okay, so yeah, and obviously this is taking place during that first week of downtime. So you guys are working on that heist. So anyway, okay, so I think at this point, and you guys are actually rating, you're catching us kind of right at the end of the episode, unfortunately, but we are going to jump forward in time. There are still some loose ends that need to be tied up, but I would like to end the stream with this particular scene playing out. So, Red and Beatrice, this is going to be out in like the 5th week after the saving of our friend Floon Blagmar. I need to know what reason you guys have. There's some reason why you all are all at Trollskull Manor relatively early in the morning, around breakfast time. So what has drawn Redbeard and Beatrice to Trollskull Manor earlier in the morning than usual today?
Well, she wants to kind of be close by anyone in case like new developments happen with Bevis's wife.
Okay. Also, this is now back in a time period where you guys know about Oz. I don't know that anyone knows about Mel yet. But just to kind of refresh everyone to where we are in this timeline, I know we've jumped around a lot. And then Redbeard. Why would Redbeard be there that morning?
Redbeard, because his friends live here, has taken to occasionally like pulling like a hobo sleep outside of like one of the like the outer corners of the eaves of the house or something. He like might stay here occasionally, but he mostly just like he keeps doing his like street urchin like hobo thing, but he will sleep here because he knows that it's safe, basically. And so on some mornings he'll just like get up, shake himself off, and like bumble inside for like a cup of coffee or something as he's getting himself going in the morning. And that is how he gets there today.
Okay. And then Redbeard is kind of in the kitchen area making coffee. Beatrice, where are you located at let's say like 8:30 in the morning on this morning? As far as in the manor.
Probably like just in the downstairs area, like milling around, having a seat somewhere that is maybe not covered in dust.
Okay.
If that's at all possible.
Yeah, fair enough. And then the rest of you, I need you all to be at the manor this particular morning. So where would you be? Are folks like sleeping in? Have folks woken up? You feel free to just let your mind be, run free as long as you're within the confines of the manor.
Bill is more than likely in the attic training room, working up a good sweaty lather.
Excellent.
If this is a couple days after the reveal,
It is.
Oz is trying on his fresh new clothes. He's no longer wearing these like dirty brown kind of ratty clothes that he's had. He's now in this sleek like black and like royal purple same kind of like long coat get up. And Oz has got a cigar, and he's just kind of sitting up in his room out by the window, and he's having a cigar, and it's changing his form.
Is this before or after Mel's conversation with Oz? What did you
After.
say?
Yeah, this is gonna take place after that conversation.
Okay, Mel would be in her tower room. She's done the job for Bonnie. That's all over. It's back to regular things. She's back to being Mel. And she's carefully gathered up some dead bugs over time, and she's trying to feed them to her spider and push them at it. And the spider, of course, is completely ignoring it. So she decides she's going to get him some water. So she's heading downstairs to get a cup of water to see if she can get her spider to drink.
All right. So as you're headed downstairs, as Redbeard's in the kitchen and Beatrice is sort of in one of the less dusty parts of the manor, Bill is punching into a sandbag in the upper attic of the house. Oz is sitting in his room. Arlo, what are you doing this particular morning?
I was gonna say same thing as as Oz. He got a brand new suit, so Arlo would have a brand new robe, dark forest green, good look. But this time he has the hood down, so you'll see his like long hair, very silky white hair, as well as the beard. And I'm still there at the library, writing notes and reading about if I could find anything about my kind of race or brand new races. I'm just there writing notes.
Okay, yeah. So you're doing some research on elves and other things in the library, and this particular morning at Troll Skull Manor, windows rattle as the roar of an explosion fills the alleyway outside. Whoever's near a window can glance outside and see charred bodies and anguished screams of people literally flying through the air as a thick cloud of acrid smoke billows outward from the blast near the manor, which seems to have occurred right outside your door. And that, of course, my friends, is where we are going to leave this session today. I know I've hit you with so many cliffhangers in a row, but this is where we needed to. Okay, so that is going to wrap up chapter 2 of the book. So everyone, when we come back for chapter 3, please level yourselves up to level 3. For most of you, this is where you're going to begin to get your main class features, your archetypes and things like that. So I'm very excited to see everyone's new abilities. We are going to take some time at the beginning of the session to talk about the leveling up process and what abilities you guys got and different choices that you made and stuff like that. So that's going to be super cool. And then, we'll kind of handle this, and we may weave in some of the final things that need to be tied up as far as last little things go. Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice